And it's like I'm talking about the same thing every time I come in on this. It's when I go on other people's channels, there's a countdown. So when we're backstage and we're like, okay, are we ready? Are we all ready? All right, cool. And then boom, they hit whoever it is, like say Monday, Mark, he hits the button, and then the screen like changes a little color, and a 3, 2, 1 comes on the screen, and it gives you some
surprise.
Yeah, right. Well, I don't know if you see the same thing, but like the screen, there's this thing that comes up, and then in the background, it's like loading, and you don't really know. I mean, I guess maybe once that thing comes off, and then you're just looking at how we are. Maybe that's supposed to signify it, but I just always thought that, like, can they hear us before that? Like before they see us? It's crazy. Let's see who we got in the chat already. I'm going to start from. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of them already. We got Checkpoint Bravo in the house. What's up, my dude? Welcome in. Riptide O'Leary is here. Thank you, my brother. So if anybody hasn't seen what happened in the timeline, so Riptide had commissioned a wonderful beachhead picture from our boy Art Facto, and it was very nice. I didn't know at the time, so I just said to Art Facto, I was like, hey, if that's for sale, dude, let me know. And in a very funny exchange, Riptide was like, no, hands off, knife fight, that's mine. And I was like, oh, we had fun with it. And then later that day, I think it was, I get a DM from Art Facto, and he was like, hey, your boy Riptide commissioned a beachhead picture for you, so tell me what you want. And so first of all, I was incredibly thoughtful, and I think I said this the other day, you know, we've had some fresh meat in the timeline in the community, and it's been really refreshing. Riptide O'Leary being one of them, you know, and then, you know, with the rebranding, I would say the same thing about our guest today. So everybody say hi to our brother G.I. Dave real quick. We will get deep on him in a second, but let's go through. I know there's quite a few people already. Big A Dave in the house. What's up, my brother? Also, I mean, he's been around. It's amazing. He's got Dave. What is your YouTube channel name? I remember you told me this, and it's hilarious. It's like Big Stanky Cooch or something like that. It's hysterical. He's got the best names. He definitely does.
On the CB.
It's so good. Kalel327, our carded king, is in the house. Thank you for coming, my brother. I appreciate it. Our boy, we got to come up with a name for Paul, right? Because Paul is on every chat, every chat I go to. He's doing the damn thing. It's like
he's like the MC of every freaking podcast.
It's
Paul's there.
I think there's something particular in my mind that I when I find it, I just can't think of it right now. There's a name that it's oh my god, it's not
right now. They're bad.
It's not concierge, but something else that's a fancy name like that. That's like the perfect name for him. So yeah, thank you for all you do, Paul.
Yeah,
also,
thanks,
at the toy chamber, my brother put me on these. You know, the Destro has to have the definitive Destro. So Roadblock in the house. What's up, my dude?
Oh no way!
Thank you for coming. Roblox is here.
That dude helped me out with some AI stuff, man. Love you, bro.
Yeah, he's very good. Our brother provides this wonderful money saving service for us. Our dude Pop Cold Frenzy in the house. What's up? Thank you.
Man.
Very good. Happy Plague Doctor is here. What's up, my brother? How are you? Checkpoint Bravo. Oh, that's where I started. Okay. Just another jerk. What's up, my dude? Just another jerk. There was something. Oh, yeah. I've got packages for all the winners. Plus, I still have sitting here stuff for Just Another Jerk and Roadblock. Guys, your stuff, I can see it from here. I'm just it's been so hard for me to do anything this week. Orskizio is in the house. What's up, my fellow upstate New York brother? But I feel like there was maybe somebody else that I missed somewhere, anywhere. Oh, that's it. Big Gay Dave is at Big Stanky Gooch. Dude, it's like, it's one of those things. Just Another Jerk says archivist. I don't know if that's what was in the recesses of my mind that I couldn't put my finger on, but I think I like that. So we're going to go working title, the archivist, because is it archivist or archivist?
What about
I don't know.
architect?
Well, I mean, I feel like
Oh,
it's
yeah,
more
you're
of
right.
like
I
a,
just was more with like the.
like an
You're right.
ushering in, and again, this I think there's a particular word. All right, so that's everybody. Listen, thank you all for coming in on a school night. I really appreciate it. uh we are doing this on the Thursday this week because one of my daughters is in the school presentation of Annie. And she started out, I think it's just the backstage, and then she stood in for somebody at a part, and they were so impressed that they gave her all these other parts that were like, oh, here's, we weren't going to use these talking lines, but now that we have somebody else that can get out there. So she's been working her tail off. So softball is fully underway, which takes up so much of my time. It's one of the reasons why this week was so crazy. We've had multiple practices back to back, and then tonight was our first game. I just want to give a shout out to one of my kids. So basically, the team that I have, we got 14 kids. I think I've mentioned it on the timeline that this is the third year in a row that I was the most requested coach. I'm very proud of that. I'm incredibly proud of that. So
You're either real good or real soft.
It's you gotta find that middle ground.
Man.
That's what it is. See, to me,
kindergarten t-ball for 3 years. After that, I said I won't do it again, man.
For sure.
Well, the heart of steel, man.
It's what works is, mind you, and there is a difference here because they're girls and they're at a certain age where they are changing in a way that we cannot comprehend. There is a metamorphosis going on with these young ladies right now. So it's basically just like, it's a rec league. Nobody here is going to even go to college to play softball. So instead of trying to drill these points home and making the run like crazy people and screaming and having this overwhelming intensity, it's you got to know when to raise the voice, and you got to know, there's no reason that you can't say, hey, I saw you were trying your hardest there and I love that, but here's what we can do better next time, and then show them what to do, and then they'll either do it or they won't, and you can't get upset if they don't. Like, that's the thing. Like, there was some parents when I coached
parents. I really didn't have any problems with the kids. It was always parents for me. My thing was when I coached, I was coaching first year t-ballers, dude, and my mentality was, if I can instill a skill into these kids where they actually can take orders, commands, or anything from an adult other than their mom or dad, then I've done my job. Because I'm here. I mean, yeah, we're doing t-ball, but it's not really about t-ball. It's about just the basics, learning from somebody else.
It's not, and that's why I think it will serve them better as people for them to leave more happy and more confident at the end of the year than having the best league or an amazing batting average or anything. It don't matter because the season is over and all that stays there. But what they can take with them is a better attitude, a better outlook. And to me, it's the confidence. You should see some of these kids, man, because you could see it right off the bat. You're like, when they throw the ball and it goes over the other person's head, you could see it in their face. The slightest bit, you can derive so much from so little. And not that I'm some a child whisperer or something like that. I just think that kids oftentimes
do it or you can't, dude. Straight up. That's
kids
do it, you can't.
Well, kids will largely wear their feelings and heart and stuff on their sleeve, right? And if you're paying attention, you can pick out a lot. Now, I can't stop like that. Well, that was, as you're saying with the parents, is that I did the travel and the rec team last year, and that was too much. I was the head coach of both, and I'm on the board of directors for the league. It was a lot, and I was doing all this other stuff. I had started the podcast. Well, actually, I didn't start the podcast until after the Rex or after the travel season ended. I was doing something with softball 7 days a week. It was brutal. Now, I wouldn't change it for nothing because the experience was great. But what I disliked most about it is that there were parents who literally, at one point, I had one guy very respectfully, and I really appreciated the way he said it. But the one guy was like, I thought there'd be more discipline. And I was like, well, what do you mean by that? And he was like, well, when Farrah sat down, this is one daughter, I probably shouldn't say this. When the one girl, she sat down, they were like, you didn't really. And I was like, well, I don't think she sat down because she's being disobedient. I think she's tired. I think she is in some sport or band or something every night of the week. And I don't Like, I don't take that as disobedience.
Yeah.
And furthermore, I'm not here to yell at your kid. That's not what I do. Listen, if we're trying to run a what do you call it? Like a drill, and there's a kid that's not paying attention or a kid that's distracting other kids, I raise my voice so everybody can hear me and they know how serious I am. But for the most part, it's, you can be loud and not be yelling at somebody. So there was a guy I coached with basketball. He's good. He's in the league. He coaches all the young kids. He's the absolute best. I've never seen anybody grab a kid's attention the way that he does, while also being very firm and getting the communication through. And I felt like that's what I took away from him largely is that you got to know how to be loud without sound like you're yelling at them. That's if you can do that, then that's how. And he also
confidence to get the message across. Otherwise, you won't deliver that message.
100%. And it's also he taught. There was something else that goes hand in hand with that. And that is the time. Because the first time I worked with him I took my basketball team to a 2-day camp that he was running, so the kids got to whatever, and I was like, I'll help if because there's so many kids. And so I'm just watching him, and after the first, so he went for like 25 minutes, they were all doing stuff, and then when they took a break, I went over to talk to him, and I was like, dude, I've never seen anybody kind of have the kids' attention where they're all standing there staring at you, not saying a word, not fidgeting with shit. They're locked into you. How have you done that? And he just looked at me and said, 5 to 10 seconds. You got 5 to 10 seconds where to get their attention, or you don't have it. And oftentimes you also can't hold it for much more than that. So he would do things like say something real quick and then make them dribble with their right hand, then give them some instruction and then make them switch to their left hand. So they're like doing something, like they're bouncing back and forth from.
He was a child psychologist.
I think he's actually in sales, which also makes sense, but he very much understands all of it. And what I love the most, so his daughter is in 8th grade and she's a star on the varsity team, no shock there. But he continues to stay and coach the kids in the 3rd and the 4th grade, the kids that are just getting into CYO basketball, because here's the thing. It's a perfect way to be inviting and tell the kids to play more, but also at the same time, letting them know, like, do you want to do this? You know what I mean? Like, you got to decide. You don't want to spend all your time, just going to and from things that perhaps maybe you're not, as interested in. I think we saw some more people come in. Let me flip back here. I thought I saw my boy, Big Red. There he is. What's up, Red? Thank you for coming, my man. I appreciate it. And so Matt from Mo's Mine is here. So Matt. I teased it on the timeline the other day. And basically I've seen his very new thing that's going to be dropping soon. I will have them in hand and I will be showing you all immediately, like literally that night. And we have like just in the way that before about with the Oracle, that I hyped it up and said, I can't tell you what it is, but trust me that you're going to love it. Well, I was right. That's a home run. Now this is similar in the way that it's going, I can't tell you, but it's also going to be awesome. And it's, he's continuing. He is, how can I say this? He is, broadening his scope of what he's making and also price points. So there's a little hint. So now when you see what he's got coming, first of all, when he mentioned the price, I was like, oh my God, I would even charge like a little more because this is what I would pay. This is what I would pay and feel like I'm still getting a very good deal here. I'm trying to find the words to tease it without being too, trust me, there is a void in our toy photography collection / everything that we do with our toys. There is a void.
Stations are coming.
Well, it's not quite that, but what it is though will legit, like, it's not only that we needed these particular things to for the photography, for even just posing your figures. Not only do we need it, he did it in a way that looks so fucking cool. Listen, I don't. I've
scary stand idea, then, isn't it? That's
no,
cool.
no. I mean,
I'm ready for the review. That's cool.
Stands are an interesting thing. I feel like so I have the Mezco one that came with the Destro, and I thought that stand was cool. Well, I mean, listen. Now that you mentioned it, it was something that's been popping up in my mind a lot recently. Is how does everybody who has like hundreds of figures that are standing up on display, do they not ever fall over? Because, dude,
just today I had a stage 3 shelf event. I have not recovered. Cleanup has not begun. A stage 3 shelf event happened today. I don't know what happened. It's bad, but yes, no stands. Like if I should be putting stands on stuff, but in the same sense, I'm not getting like the way I display them with the big stand. So then I went on Amazon. I got the little round clear stands, and then you're gonna need 2 for each foot because the dude's sideways. And so I stopped with the stands. That leaves
right.
self event. Trust me.
Nice. That's what's up. So Matt says,
everything falling off your shelves is not cool. It sucks.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, so no, really, it's just I had the Python Patrol set up, but I don't have it on something that like is necessarily a stand. I had them up here where the Rattler is, and so I had to put the Rattler up there. So I took I've got like 40 or 50 Python Patrol guys. No, it's like 60, I think, because 28 of them are Vipers. So whatever. I put them over here, and I just was like, well, I have this space, and I'll set these up. All the rest of my open figures are in these small. They're standing up with. So like if I've got all my Alley Vipers are in, it's a mini version of a regular plastic bin. There's just like only like this big.
Organizing your figures just like your tools.
Yeah. Oh, right here. So here's this. This is actually Sys 3D Arsenal stuff that's in here. So I don't really have anything displayed with the exception of literally what you see right here. This, as my brother Victor from Gen X Experience called it, he goes, he's got a Sanford and Son G.I. Joe mishmash of shit. I thought that was very funny because it is. Very funny, very funny. That's my dude. I had a great time with him on Destro is my spirit animal. Speaking of my brother, I always try to give him a shout. I very much appreciate all the times that he has me on, which is like basically every Monday. And
I'm telling you what, I made a post on X. The original 80s brand to me is so special that like I want somebody that cares about like the comic era and stuff like that. Dude, that guy would probably be all right for the job. And I was like, dude, come on, Mark, slide right in there and scoop that up, dude, because we're going to survive if you're there. You know what I mean? That would be cool.
Yeah, I mean, his G.I. Joe stuff alone makes him like my favorite content creator, basically. But then when you look at all this other stuff, so I just saw right before I came on to set up the stream, I saw that he dropped his Legend of Voltron or the Mythology of Voltron. I would watch anything he talked about in the way that he does it. He's got that perfect even voice. It's never too, it doesn't go up, it doesn't go down. It locks you in to like, and what I like about it is somehow in a half hour, I come away thinking I've learned 10 things that I didn't know about this. I always use the Predator one as the example. Like, first of all, I never knew they had a name. They're called Yautja. That's what they are. I never knew that. So I was blown away by that. But then it was like 10 whatever other things, that little tidbits of awesome information that I didn't know. And I watched it for like a half hour. So I was like, I'm wildly entertained. I'm fully informed, like in a half hour. And now I'm on to the next thing. Like there's times when I'm at work, if I don't like I can't do music like I used to in my old age. So what I'll do sometimes is I'll set like a playlist of Mark's ranking videos. So I can start in 1982 and go to 83, 84, 85. Cause now he's got from 82 to 94 is complete. Yeah. So that's what's up.
Did you see his buzzer video?
Like, dude, that is crazy awesome.
So that what he did with buzzer, my man took the file card and the good post Hammer comics, and he gave us exactly the psychological mindset of Buzz. Dude, Fogarty, That is my buzzer. Everything in that video is exactly buzzer to me. And
Right.
like, you know, a lot of guys, and I'm gonna get into this, but you know, a lot of guys, they look at the Dreadnoks as like biker guys. You know what I mean? But
Right.
I was young enough to remember the scourge of the Hell's Angels. You know what I mean? And Hell's Angels were on the news, dude. And when you heard Hell's Angels on the news as a little kid, you were
But
scared, dude.
there was a chapter from in my town forever. My aunt lived down the street from them. I'm
Get
there.
out.
Yeah, swear to God. I wouldn't
Dude, that
remember
was
the number, but yeah.
scary, man. Like, dude, Hell's Angels would take over towns back then, dude.
They were not
The
playing.
Dreadnoks coming out here, and like, no offense, but Sunbow, they just made them like, you know, bobbling idiots. The comic
Buffoons.
did it way too.
Right.
But they shredded stuff in the comic.
I mean, I feel like to me, it's interesting the way that they did it, and I'll try to get to the point quickly. Number one, so as kids, I feel like it was way more digestible, right, to see them kind of like these affable, you know, buffoons, so to speak. But also to me, when you think about it, it almost makes them scarier because you're like, oh, you don't even understand the consequences. It's not that you're like a psycho that's
true.
just doing this shit.
100%.
You know, you just don't know what's going on, and you're killing people because some other dude told you to do it, and you're just like, so that shit is wild.
In the early comic runs, I think Zartan said something similar to that. Like, these guys are too stupid to know the repercussions. That's what makes them powerful. Something to that may have been in the later origin stories, but yeah, dude, like, the comic stuff for me was always so much better. I enjoyed the tune. Like, I have a golden memory of the tune. Me and my dad were extremely close with G.I. Joe, and
that's cool.
And I got called down to the office, and when I got called down to the office, dude, it was only for one thing, dude, because I was always getting in trouble. I was always fighting, and just, it was me. So I get called down to the office, and I see my dad, and I'm like, oh my, what did I do? I mean, and I'm literally thinking like, man, there's 10 things that I know he don't know. But what did I do? I come in there, he signs me out of school. I still didn't ask what I did. And he's like, come on, son. And he's stern. He's playing with me. Come on, son. And we get in the truck, and we're driving home. We pull out of my school, and I'm like, Dad, what's going on? Am I in trouble? He's like, no, son, today's the first day the G.I. Joe cartoon drops, and I didn't want you to miss it being at school. That was my dad, bro.
Oh, no shit.
That was my dad. And so, like, the very first day G.I. Joe aired, I got to see that. And then, see, like, a lot of fans don't understand why a guy like me is absolutely I guess loyal to the OG-13 team. And I can articulate that because at that time, us growing up out of the 70s and into the 80s, if G.I. Joe, so like I'm talking like in 1980, and it's easy for me because when I was in first grade, where in 1981, first grade going into second, 82, second grade going into third. So it's easy for me. So like before Joe hit, on the recess and my friends and all that stuff, we were playing with stompers and the pea gravel and all that stuff, different stuff every day.
Right.
And I remember this like yesterday, dude. There's this cat. I'm not going to say his name, but everybody hated this kid in school because he was, not only was he a one-upper, he was a 10-upper, and he was stinking rich. And back then, like, dude, me and my friends, like, I guess we were dirt poor. You know what I mean? We didn't get stuff unless it was Christmas or birthday, or we worked for it. You know what I mean? So this kid would come in and he would always brag about all he had. Everybody hated him, man. So me and my buddies, James, Jeremy, we're sitting here, and before school started, we could talk, you know what I mean, before the bell rang. And this cat comes in the door and he's got a couple of his buddies and he's like, I'm telling you, the arms move at the elbow, the legs at the knee, and they all got backpacks, the different guns, and you should see what they look like on the package. And he's going off and off, and he's spewing all this stuff off. Eventually, me and my buddies, we walked over and we're like, dude, what's going on? And he's like, I just came back from Kmart yesterday and I seen all the new G.I. Joes, and they're not this big. They're Star Wars size, and they're Star Wars guys that have moving arms, legs, he's telling us all of it. But then he caps the conversation by saying, and my dad is taking me there after school and buying me everything. And me and my friends were just like, no, oh man, what is this stuff? I gotta see it, And so we ride out the day. I get home and I like never ask my dad for something because I was proactive enough to do something for him to like reward me, So dad gets home and I went to him and I was like, Dad, look, something happened. Like, this is serious. So-and-so came into school. He told me about these figures, these new toys, and Dad, please take me to Kmart. Please take me to Kmart. I don't want anything. I don't want to ask you. I just want to see him. I just want to see what he's talking about. Dad says, okay, let's go. So we went to Kmart, Waterford, Michigan, right on Dixie Highway. And we walk in the store, and I could immediately see, because this was my stomping ground, dude. I knew these aisles like my bedroom, dude. And just from the corner, I could see nothing but these colorful explosions. And me and my dad are like, dude, what's going on? So they took an entire aisle at Kmart, and just at the very last eighth was some Star Wars stuff. But it was an entire aisle of nothing but first run Joes and like 2 spaces worth of full pegs of Joes. There's a guy with a blue Kmart apron straightening everything up perfect. I'm like, oh, my dad's talking to this cat and he's like, man, this is really cool. When did these come out? And the guy from Kmart, I remember saying we just put them out Sunday. We just put the stuff out Sunday. I'm really digging this stuff, so I'm making sure they look really cool and straight and stuff. And then him and my dad started looking at these, and they're just like, man, I want to play with this. This is incredible. So, we're looking, and my dad eventually looks at me and says, David, pick out a couple that you would like, and we'll see what we can do. And I was just like, dude. So short fuse, and it was Grunt, the Flak, and the Ram was my first Joe purchases. And I took those home, and me and my dad pulled them out of the boxes, followed the instructions, put all the stickers on them, looked at the blueprints, and we played all night, man. We played.
That's awesome.
Night.
That's a great memory. That's a good one. I love it.
Oh, man.
And that's great. We're going to catch up real quick. Chat is cracking me up.
I'm disappointed, man. I love those.
That's all right. Riptide O'Leary says, Destro's always loud. It's a part of his soul. This is true. We were actually talking about that backstage. I am very loud. One of the reasons I don't drink on a live stream either. I talked about it with Mark the other day. I was like, look at how I am already. I don't really need it.
On some bourbon now because I've been going since 6, and my
perfect. That's what's up. Cal, wait, where'd it go? Fuck. Oh, Matt from Mosmine says, in reference to when I was teasing the new item coming, he says it's affordable. And so that's an accurate kind of a description when I was saying like he's diversifying and widening his scope of
rare thing
cost
to hear these days.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's true. And but here's the thing. I still think you're getting such a good deal from what I saw too. So
I'll tell you, those pack rats I got from GI Customs, I haven't got them yet, but I'm super excited about those. I think that was a great deal for those. And
Yeah,
then
no,
the
really cool.
Christmas stuff that I got, the scrap iron crate.
Oh yeah,
Dude,
no, that's
that-
top notch.
like, dude, I bought early 3D printing stuff. Me collecting is nothing new, man. Like I was buying 3D print stuff when they first came off, and I bought some like expensive stuff, and I just took my thumbnail and just scraped it away, and I was like, I am
Yeah,
never
no,
3D printing no more.
yeah. There's a lot of really good makers out there for sure. Also, our boy Riptide says that he is on basically on vacation with his son. That's awesome. Dave
Oh,
says
good for
I
you,
have
Tide
guests
Ripper.
over, but I'm leaving this open because I want to watch. Thanks for streaming, brother. Have a great evening. Love you all. Thank you, dude. Love you too, my man. That's very nice. Oh, so they're also talking about stands. We were referencing that for a second, and and just another jerk says, "Yeah, they domino." Then they do. That's what happened to the Python
Dude,
Patrol over there. The thing got it was, and I left it there. I was like, "I'll pick them up." They
well,
don't
I
have
would not.
anything
These
in
are
their hands
I'm
to
looking at
get.
them.
Yeah, they're not. There's nothing that's gonna get bent from laying like that. So I was like, you know what? I will come back and
Yeah.
and figure that out.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't want to get mad at stupid stuff like that anymore. So I'll come down and I'll look at my level 3 event of shelf destruction, and I'll look and I'll just chuckle and I'll walk away now. Dude, it's not worth it, man.
For sure, for sure. They're talking about how to get your Joe's. Star Wars, Buck Rogers, Dukes, Chips figures were before GI Joe. Yeah,
That's
I had He Man, and that was mostly it. Like that was all I remember being into was He Man because I was like 4, and then 5 when I finally got my first when I got the Destro and the Snake Eyes. I think I got the Snake Eyes 1.5. I was looking at that the other day. Cal says my dad still complains about the stickers. Dude, that shit is a nightmare.
Me and my dad loved it. We absolutely adored sticker time for toys, man.
For
Yeah.
sure, for sure. So yeah, just to put a bow on that, Mark Fogarty's new the Voltron, the mythology of Voltron is up. I will be probably putting that on when I am falling asleep tonight, and then I'll circle back and watch it again tomorrow for sure. Last night I tuned in. I usually on Wednesdays I've been grabbing at night the Midweek Madness, which is the 3POA podcast with my dude Laser Pants and crew.
It's a like that
it's a good show. They have like a little where they're talking about their favorite, newer figures, what they've got, and how there's like a ranking system. And yeah, it was really good. Lately, my boy Talib has been on there. Talib from Figure Fight Club. He was in the studio last week? Yeah, or 2 weeks ago. Oh God, it's all a blur. But he's been on there as like a Transformers correspondent. He was showing off some stuff, and everybody last night, everybody had a Deathstroke. God, I can't remember the line that it is, but I've seen it. A couple of people have it. It's a stupid awesome figure. I've always thought that he was a very cool looking character. It's very, I don't know. It's hard when you see figures like Deathstroke or Deadpool, and it just you feel the Snake Eyes. If you see anybody that's got swords and still kind of looks like a commando still, it's hard not to call it a Snake Eyes. But that's not, that's one of those things. It's like, well, people can still make things. It doesn't have to look, you're not going to be like, well, I don't want it to look like Snake Eyes. If you have an idea, you have an idea.
And like I had a lot of comics as a kid. Like I remember going to garage sales and buying like tons of comics and, reading through them or whatever. But the only comic that I really bought was G.I. Joe, Special Missions, and Transformers. Early Marvel Transformers is really good. It's nothing like anything else in the Transformers universe. I really like early Marvel Transformers comics. But the G.I. Joe, the first issue I picked up was number 7, and I, got it on a spin rack. Ever since then, I was hooked, man. And then on top of that, when the Sunbow hit, I'm not going to say I'm a Sunbow hater because I watched it, but from a military-minded kid, I just couldn't take it seriously. So I used to take my comic books to school, and I would show like my G.I. Joe friends, like, dude, you want to know, like that dude that don't say nothing in the show, dude, look what he's really about. You know what I mean? Check, like, here's his story. You know what I mean? Like Duke. Everybody loved Duke, but from my perspective, my Duke has only been seen in like 4 panels, and that was at Flag's funeral. Like this Duke right here, that guy, that leads, that's a squad leader. You know what I mean? He's awesome. He's a top kick. The other Dukes, I don't know, man. Even the original Mail Way. I got Duke. I looked at him and I was like, okay, you're my squad lead, I guess. You know what I mean? But
for sure,
telling you what to do. But that the Mailway stuff was awesome too, man.
It was cool. It was, but obviously as a kid, that was a 2 to 3 weeks of torture, but that was also like the norm.
6
that
to 10,
was,
wasn't it?
Yeah, some of that, dude. I wouldn't be surprised if anybody had a story like that. They're talking about some Star Wars figures real quick, but something funny is Hal says, I found a Yoda while we were camping. He was buried in the sand at the pond. That's hilarious. And as awesome as that is, the flip side of that story is some kid lost it, and that's how it wound up there.
You know what? Post that. That might be fun. Some 50-year-old
imagine that.
Come gangster you for his old Yoda.
Orxizio says, my mom hated my comics. My dad used to, I hate it when it jumps the comments here. My dad used to steal them from work and give them to me, Conan, Punisher, G.I. Joe. Dude, I've said famously that I didn't have the comics around here. It was like there was one comic book store. I have like a downtown area. I don't know for whatever reason he never had them. I used to, anytime I would go somewhere and see G.I. Joe comic books, I would always buy it. I have like 30 of them, I think, from when I was a kid. And I think I lost a few. I'm pretty sure I had more than that. But no, most of my consumption was the Sunbow cartoon, right? That's Sunbow cartoon and the figures. That's where it all got. It's funny because when I'm going through when I'm doing those Good Morning posts, and there's a clip. Basically, it's every 3 days I'm going through an episode because there's usually 2 commercials, so it winds up being 3 clips, right? And something like that. And it's a good 7 minutes, and you get to see the section of it. Conrad does something similar, but he does it with all of the different G.I. Joes, which is pretty cool because it's always something I've never seen before.
Yeah, I'm living through Conrad, reading the modern comics because I do not want to buy anything past 155. I want my G.I. Joe comics to be in 1 through 155, and I want my Real American Hero to stay in the 80s. I think the way that it was wrapped up with that letter from Wade's son to Snake Eyes on issue 155, if you are a true G.I. Joe fan and you can get through issue 155 without tearing up, I don't even know what to say, dude, because that is powerful. That is some of his best writing.
That it's actually the something about the writing in there is amazing. So something that I've always kind of said is like, Larry Hama could be the GOAT, even for the simple fact that he made a mute person the most amazing action figure and like comic book character. Now, when you think about comic book character, most of the time people think of the Wolverine, Punisher, Spider-Man, or Batman, or Superman, like basic Marvel ones. But guess what? Snake Eyes is a comic book character, and
correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody out there can correct me if I'm wrong. At a certain spread in the 80s, G.I. Joe was the #1 selling comic of Marvel, I believe.
That wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. What's up, Bobby? My brother Abby from Figure Fight Club is here, stopping in to say hello. Smash that like button. I appreciate you. Figure Fight Club, you can catch them Monday night, Decepticast. Tuesday is the open mic night, which 2 weeks in a row I wasn't there, brother. This week I had my daughter's in a play, so I was actually spending time with her on Tuesday. Normally they're in bed, but not that night. And the previous week before, where I've been so busy with work, dude, and it's like if I'm on Monday night, I'm just wiped out by the time I get around to Tuesday. But I'm definitely coming this week, brother, and I've got some really cool shit to show off. It's not a lot. My everybody, I usually roll in there and I've got like 15 things to show off. But shit has been tight lately with this fucking remodel. I cannot wait till it's over so I could just pull the trigger on every little thing that I see. But no, for sure. Also, for Figure Fight Club on tonight, there is they have a show going on. It's the Lou and Goose. It's called Take That Shot, where take the shot, where they talk about toy photography with guests. It's really cool. Friday night they do Plastic Journey. They have like a VIP guest in. They talk to him the whole show. And then also on Saturday night, which I believe is on Talib's channel, that's the Men on Film, which I have been jumping over after I do my podcast on Saturday. I've been going over and paying and watching. Last week we got off super late and I wound up I made something to eat, whatever, and I completely forgot. I was like, oh shit, I think I jumped in right as you guys were like shutting it down. But yeah, also Figure Fight Club community on Facebook. Very cool. There's not much good on Facebook, but Figure Fight Club community is 100% where you want to be.
That went down with RA. I was disappointed in the community, dude.
Well, I mean, there's people are gonna see. I hate to in one interaction like that. I hate to label say it's the community because it's just that.
Dude, I've been doing this long enough that you're gonna, no matter what. I don't care if you're talking about unknown biological organisms at the bottommost place in Venus. You will have 20 internet experts come and tell you about everything about it. It don't matter.
Right, for sure. Well, Jeremy runs a pretty good group over there, so I'd hate to besmirch that. And he does a great job. That's my brother. No, he's great. E-Worthy says, "Hey, Michael, sorry joined late. I will rewatch from the beginning tomorrow." No worries, brother. No worries. I appreciate your support. Riptide says, "I heard issue 21 was crazy popular with all the other comic writers of the time, and they think of Larry as a legend." Good, they should. Yeah, that's the thing. I hope Larry does feel like I've always said, if I ever won like the Powerball and I won like, $250 million or something, I would give Larry Hama $1 million. I would be like, here, take this, and then like just don't have to worry, because I feel like he did such a service for so many people. Like here we are, 40 years later, and there is a thriving fandom of it. Now, granted, it's still happening, right? He's still doing things, but like, we're all here because of what happened 40 fucking years ago. I mean, at this point, it's, 40 years ago is when the movie came out, So that's like deep into what was already an amount of time, because by the time the movie came out, I was still into G.I. Joe, but I didn't know anything about the DIC cartoon, which is fine, thank God. I wasn't really into the comics, but I definitely was rocking like, the 88, 80, 89, 90. There were still a ton of figures coming out. So I was definitely still into it, but yeah, no, good. I'm glad he's getting his flowers, wherever he goes, because he deserves it. Yeah. Cal said, I would buy an unopened flag first, then give him the money. Right. That's so funny. That's so funny. I love it.
He would do that only to flash it on X at us every day too.
Which is so good. It's so awesome. I love it.
He is a good cat, man.
I love all those pictures of those card figures, because
you can just say a random figure's name like Micronaut 24/7, make it up, and Cal manifests it. He's like, yeah, I got it carded.
So good. I mean, it was like at this point, I wouldn't be surprised. I would still be in awe, but I wouldn't be surprised of anything he pulled out. But there was a time where it was every week it would be 4 or 5 figures that were in a card that I was like, oh my God, I didn't even know. Like it was when I got into collecting with the classifieds. It started with the classifieds, and then I kind of like when I got over the initial shock of it, I was like, oh yeah, I wonder if there's, what are they doing with the smaller ones? And then I was like on eBay just kind of looking around, and it was like, I was like, oh my God, people still have these like in the packages, and a lot of them. So I mean, I guess it's something to say for like, now I have a bunch of shit that's in the package, and 40 years from now, somebody else would say the same thing. Like, how the hell did they have this in the package? We're crazy people. Cal says I can stop, I swear.
I did. So when I'm 51 now, my son just turned 18. So When my son was like 4, I had this. I was making decent money. The 25th line was running, and I was collecting so much 25th. I was a sales guy at the time. My job was to drive and check stuff, so I was hitting so many stores, buying almost anything on the pegs. By the time like the last waves of POC, the hard waves to come by, when those ended, I ended up with like minimum of 8 complete waves of 25th to POC Joes with like some 10s and 20s, you know what I mean? And
Right.
So my son was growing up, and I'm like, man, I want to get my son some original GI Joes and give him the childhood that I had. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It was a bad move. I wasn't thinking right. So I put this Craigslist, right? I put this Craigslist ad out, and it was just very simple. It said, I have 25th anniversary Joes looking to trade for 80s ARAH. And I got so overloaded. Like a dude would message me and gave me a Rolling Thunder that was missing one of the turret missiles for a clear Wraith. And I wasn't trying to screw him. I was like, dude, I don't think you should do that. And he's like, no, I'm done with this. I want the clear Wraith. So many people were throwing away their 80s collection. Now, whether it was the hype of the 25th, or we were fooled thinking that the 25th was going to end up with Flags and Defiance or what, but guys got rid of it, and I scooped it all up. So by the time my son was like 6 or 7, I had I'm not kidding, a nearly complete 82 to about 90, summoned to 91, complete GI Joe collection with all the figures. I was buying them cheap, getting them, trading them, had all this stuff. You seen pictures, me and my son restoring a Terrordrome. We restored a Flag. We restored a Defiant. I was buying stuff at the flea market and getting parts and stuff from buddies. And
nice.
Didn't like it.
Right.
It wasn't his jam. His jam was Mega Blocks and Clone Troopers. He loved the Star Wars Clone Troopers. And there's also something to that too, is my son taught me so much, especially about the big surprise in this video coming up soon. Specifically, my son taught me about that. But like my son, I could see his attraction to the brightly colored 90s figures and looking at these gray, dull 82 figures as extremely inferior. Okay. And I'm seeing that from his perspective, and I figured it out. Okay. I'm going to tell you why guys like me are so slavish to the 82 OG line. Okay. And it's a very specific reason. For a very long time, kids like me, the only thing we had to play with, because G.I. Joe was really a thing of the past. Super Joe was a thing of the 70s, and he was not military, right? We did not have a military brand. The only thing we had to play with were Green Army men. And now, whether Rudat knew it or not, the original G.I. Joes are really in no way, shape, or form official U.S. military colors. But what they do look like is Green Army men. And that's the same thing my dad played with, the same thing I played with, to where my dad would look at it, I'd look at it and be like, this is military. Now, skip 3 years into the future, and you've got a dude wearing a football jersey with a bazooka. I don't know if I would have accepted that as a military kid. So
I still don't have a classified bazooka.
I might have an extra one. Let me check. But
no, once it's on. Actually, it's on order. It's supposed to be here on Sunday. There was one. It was on Amazon. It was like $15.99, but it wasn't shipping for like 3 months. And I said, "Fuck it. What do I have to lose?" It's shipped. It said it's going to be here by the 6th. So, but thank you.
This is a good example. Bazooka is a good example of how into the military me and my friends were, and it wasn't just us. Military like culture, and we used to call ourselves stat whores because we loved to know as much as we could about everything. When this stuff hit, my dad had Vietnam buddies. Two of his, like, three of these guys used to always come over and party with my dad. Two of them were Max Og V, straight up meat eaters from Nam. Now, mind you, this is what, 82? These dudes, this is only a couple years ago for them. You know, Ishi, my dad's buddy, was actually infantry and was the dude that did Tunnel Rat, right? So I know these guys. I knew them, and my dad would be like, David, go grab those toys we bought. And I brought them down, and these vets that went through the tiger grass, that faced the enemy, they're looking at these toys and they're like, dude, this is a Hawk missile system. I've stood by a 4 battery of these with the radar controller. They're looking at the vamp and they're like, I don't know where I've seen this, but this is real. And my dad busts out with, that was in Popular Mechanics. So I had all these real vets sitting here looking at my G.I. Joe toys saying, dude, that is about as legit as it gets. So we didn't really have much money back then. And about a week after, my dad seen that I just would not leave these alone. I was taking them to the restaurant. We might go to a restaurant once a week, so I would take my Joes there. So he took me to Kmart about 2 weeks after, and then I bought Flash, Snake Eyes, the Jump, and the Hal. And that's a haul back then, dude. That was like a birthday for me.
Definitely.
It was awesome.
For sure.
So,
that is awesome.
Seeing those figures, and I can say my original G.I. Joes, I had a clear cutoff point with G.I. Joe. And I started in 82, seen them on the shelves the third day, right, with my dad. And then me and my dad, we were Joe buddies all the way through. I moved to up north, northern Michigan, in like 6th grade. So I didn't see any G.I. Joe cartoon past 6th grade. I didn't even know Deke existed until internet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, me neither. And, no clue.
Yeah. So when we moved out to the country, I had 2 jobs in the city at 2nd grade. I worked at the fruit market. I delivered papers. I was buying my own stuff. You know what I mean? Out in the country, I couldn't. But my dad got a better job. So I did pretty much all the work around the house, cut the grass, all the chores. We had to get a big stone boat because the farmers left, stones in the field. I did all this stuff.
Right.
That was my thing.
I was on stone patrol for my grandfather one time. It fucking sucks.
That makes a man out of you.
You for sure. Cal and Riptide O'Leary are talking about, base of operations for them. Boys, we are all with it. Like, you guys are close to each other out there. I'm like 2.5 hours at most away from you guys. We should figure something out.
In about 2 weeks, I'm having some stuff happen, and I think I'm going on walkabout for a bit, and I'm gonna visit some stuff. I want to go in Ohio. I want to visit Serpent Mound, and then in addition to G.I. Joe, and I like my Transformers, I'm a huge history dork. I love physics. I am absolutely a dork. I got all these toys. One of my coolest things that I own is a 1st edition Brief History of Time. That from Stephen Hawking.
Right.
I like that stuff too. But I just got those today. This is a cool story. These are the Mac 10s from Escape from New York. So this is how cool the community is, bro. I am literally a NATO and Warsaw Pact expert. Okay, my dad used to blindfold me and take apart M14, a lot of different pew-pews and things like that, blindfolded to prepare me, right? I was supposed to be an officer. And I posted a picture of this, and I was like, don't forget to get Snake's Mac 11s. And one of our buddies in the group, dude, he was so polite. He goes, look, man, I don't mean to correct you, and I don't mean to like offend you, but those are Mac 10s. And I was just going by the gift because I haven't seen Escape from New York probably since the 80s. And I'm like, you know what? You might be right. Let me look. Get this, dude. So he was right. Snake's equipment was a Mac 10, but you know whose equipment was a Mac 11? And I remember it now. On the back of that Metal Gear Solid ad, in the top right corner, showed Snake's Mac 11.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that ad we talked about last time with Metal
Gear
Solid?
Yeah. Yep.
And it showed all his gear.
Yes. Yeah, which is awesome.
Corner. So,
man, I fucking love those games.
Group, you know what I mean?
For sure. That is pretty cool. So it looks like a bunch of us live in the Northeast. Eworthy up here too. Eworthy's got a cool story. He says, my grandfather used to watch me after school when I was 6 to 7, and every Friday he'd take me to the local toy store and buy me one Joe. Many such great memories. That's awesome. That's awesome. My grandfather used to take me. So I was the oldest, or I am the oldest grandchild on my mom's side. And her father had family down in Allentown, Pennsylvania. So once a year, I would make the trip down with him. We'd leave like Thursday, and we would come back Monday or something like that. It was an extended weekend for sure. And down there was this place that was not far from where they lived. I can't remember the orientation, but it was like a collectible store. So it was like this one whole huge portion of it was all sports cards, which I had an eyeball on, but I wasn't like.
You liked sports when you were younger.
Oh no, I still do. I just don't talk about it that much. I'm in like 11 fantasy football leagues and shit like that. Yeah. So, but they had this whole one side of the store was cards, and then on the other side he had figures and comic books. And so I would always get a couple GI Joes. It would be like any kind of one of the small figures, like a recon sled size vehicle, right? And a couple figures, and then as many comic books as they had of GI Joe. And that way I had something to play with down there while he was, catching up with all his brothers and sisters and cousins and shit. I think there was mostly cousins. But yeah, it was always a good time. And so one year, this is always funny, I love to share this part. So one year I hit like a massive growth spurt. I grew like a ton, and I was getting motion sick. Yeah, everywhere. It was that time. I think I might have been 8. I think that's probably right around where I was. And dude, massive growth spurt. And so I used to get I still kind of do motion sick. I used to have to take Dramamine, right? And I can't remember. He was like trying to adjust the dosage from the last time he gave it to me because of my weight gain and everything. And he gave me just a little bit too much. So I was kind of like, you ever get like Benadryl looped where you're just like, you're like half asleep or whatever. So yeah, that was always funny.
90s, dude. You can like Benadryl is like really low on that.
No, for sure. Oh no. Listen, I was just a kid, so I didn't know any kind of that stuff. Riptide says, I'm going to a convention in June with 2 of my Army bros. Which one is that? Is that the
Riptide was part of a recovery team, and when he started talking about the road toad, I started shouting facts about how real the road toad is. Oh, Riptide comes in's like, I was part of a mobile crew. And dude, I used to have to train the mobile crews on how to recover my vehicles after we built them. So like Riptide busts in, kicks open the door, and he's like, yeah, dude, I'm like one of the cats that you would have taught to recover your vehicle under fire. You know what I mean?
Nice. Well, what convention are you going to, my dude? Because I know that, is it the New England one? There's something I remember I saw, and I was like, oh, that looks interesting because it looks huge. Orcizio and I are basically upstate New York, but we've got Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and I think somebody's in Connecticut. Cal, are you in Connecticut or Massachusetts? He says this is like the New England Joe Network. Yeah, definitely. We are the New England chapter. No question there. That's pretty awesome. Cool.
Like Cletus the Cobra's holding out all of Vegas by himself. Cletus the Cobra's got the Vegas chapter locked down by himself as an officer.
So I've got tomorrow. We were on the topic. I was talking about Snake Eyes, and we kind of drifted away. And the reason I was diving into that is, I have my article for some Pentors Layers dropping tomorrow, and I think you'll find it to be an interesting read. It's something. I don't want to give too much of it away, but because basically there's a one particular reason why I think it plays into Snake Eyes being the GOAT, but I think it's a subconscious thing, and most people have never thought about it like in this particular way. That's kind of. That's kind of like it. That's kind of like it. So it's that'll be dropping tomorrow. So it doesn't usually hit, Twitter or Facebook till a little later in the afternoon. But it is up on serpentorslayer.com. I think as soon as I get up in the morning, it's usually already up there. So I've been doing it where I'm trying to get to a point where I sit down and spend an amount of time, because like I'm doing a lot of off the cuff stuff, and believe me, there's plenty of that. But this one I kind of sat with the idea a little bit and made a couple notes and stuff like that. So the one I wrote on Tuesday was about getting the hiss. Now that that's out, I can kind of spoiler alert a little bit. Basically, I had just been back into collecting Joes for about 4 or 5 months, and I got to the point where I realized, I was like, you know what? I kept buying, like, before I knew Mo's Mind or any of these other ones, I had bought some stuff from Gridiron, a bunch of these drones, and even after I bought all these drones and like all these figures, I was like, man, there's something missing. And I was like, man, maybe it is the hiss. It was, $550, $600 on eBay. I didn't want to have anybody, I didn't want to have anybody ship this to me and have the chance of it be wrong and have to go through fighting to get my money back. So I was just like, you know what? I'll wait until I find one on locally and see what happens. And right when I found one, I happen to have the money. And I was like, fuck it. And the dude, I got him to take somebody off. I think I paid $475. I did. Complete sealed, hiss. And I had to drive about 45 minutes. But I kind of go into the details of, like I've said it before, but I'll kind of just reiterate, like it's not an exaggeration when I say, like, when I first saw that Alley Viper and then getting into this, it's like there was moments where I was like, oh my God, I'm high, like I'm on drugs. And I know what that feels like. So I feel uniquely qualified to speak to that.
Yeah,
and say, yeah, for sure. Like the first time I saw, you know what, I'm not going to say too much about this because I'll probably write an article about it, but like finding my first classified in the wild. So I had never seen any of them before. One time I saw, it was a retro Duke, but the package was folded over and then they taped it flat, and it looked like it was open and it was missing pieces. So I remember seeing it and I didn't even touch it. I was like, oh, I'm not buying it. But then I never saw like another one the whole entire time until when Breaker dropped. Breaker was a Target exclusive, and I mean, I think it was available on Pulse, obviously, but a Target exclusive. And there was a lot of people that were having a hard time. The distribution was pretty fucked, and there was people that were like looking all over for it. So I had one pre-ordered from Target that actually showed up, or was it Pulse? Well, it was either one or the other, and it actually showed up, and it was fine. But I was like, I definitely want another one. I was like, this figure's awesome, and I want one in the package still, because I wanted to do a mass device in the package. So I do. Conrad hooked me up with a discounted. So I have in the package the Breaker, the Dive Team, and the Snake Eyes with the Polar Bear, so I can have a mass device, because the mass device was important to me. So definitely interested in having that all together. But yeah, when I was like looking for that Breaker, I was like, there's a bunch of Targets right here. I went in and out of a few of them, and finally the one up here on Balltown, when I walked in, and it was the only GI Joe they had. It was singular on a peg, and it was glowing like if we were walking up to the pearly gates. The 100%. That's exactly the sound that I heard. So. Riptide says it's the Northeast Comic-Con and Collectibles Extravaganza, June 27th and 28th. Jesus, isn't that when Joe Fest is?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's when Joe Fest is too, which I'm, going to try to get to that Joe Fest. My wife and I went last year, tons and tons.
And I'm going to that this year. I am going to that this year, dude.
No, Joe, I have not been. But I do want to try. It looks like I'll have to bring my entire family with me, which is fine. But it's going to be, I don't know. I'm talking about putting the family in an RV and making it a whole trip down there, and then there's just enough to do. The kids are at an age where if they were, if we get down there and we get a hotel that has a swimming pool, they'll be fucking happy with it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and we live in an area where we don't get to swim all year round. We get a few months out of the year, and that's that. But yeah, so I just wanted to do a quick little promo with that. I know everybody does a really good job liking, sharing the stuff, especially on Twitter where it pops up. But I think tomorrow's article will be a very interesting think piece, and I'd like to hear. I mean, I'm always interested in hearing feedback, about the article itself, but I'm interested to hear what everybody wants to say about the topic. I think it's Snake Eyes is a polarizing character and figure, and I don't know. I just feel like in order to get that big, I think it's not everybody views him one way, but especially because the type of character that he is, I think it kind of touches into his ability. Kind of, I'm just going to leave it like with what you said about anybody could have been Snake Eyes, because what I'm talking about is roundabout that in a way, just to just to kind of, you can fill in that blank. But so you have a theory about the OG-13 and why you think it's so important to people. You want to lay that on? You want to lay that on them right now?
I 100% believe that Rudat and that crew that designed that original G.I. Joe team specifically picked those colors that were so eye attractive as Green Army Men. Because, like I said, if you look and trust me, I was a military kid. I knew the names of military paints. There was only one or two Joe vehicles that actually could be like considered a U.S. military paint job. All the other colors were not. But if you look at the G.I. Joe team as a whole, you see the different colors of the Green Army Men, especially if you were a Marx consumer at the time. One of my most favorite toys, dude, the ultimate toy I ever had was Navarone, the Mountain Navarone. I had that. That was my Cobra Mountain. That was everything for Cobra. That was my Cobra base. But before G.I. Joe hit, I had this Mountain from the Harrison Ford movie Navarone, Marx toys. And it was all soldiers. And your Green Army Men, they were not all the same shade of green. You had
right.
Army Men. And I firmly believe that the original OG-13 color was by design, because, like I said, if you come out with like a grenadier wearing a baseball jersey and he's got an XM21, dude, I'm sorry, but 82 military kid me, I don't think I would accept that. I would think that that's some sort of sports guy. That's not an Army guy. You know what I mean? Whereas, where I would say like the 82 line was like the breaking of the hymen to allow me to accept crazy designs. You know what I mean? Because if I weren't already into it, then some of these crazy wacky designs, like literally Bazooka charging out onto the battlefield in a jersey. But then, as a kid, I would ask myself, is that his battle rattle? Or is that just a snapshot in time where like he was hanging out in the barracks and like shit went down and he grabbed his gear? I don't know. All I know is that particular figure has a jersey and a backpack and no straps. My friend Eric, his dad was a captain at Selfridge Air Force Base here in Michigan. And right during the U.S. military reformation, they changed from MREs or from C-Rats to MREs. So I went to Eric's garage, and his dad, he was a captain. He was flying 16s and hogs out of Selfridge, dude. They had 4 pallets of C rations. Brand new shrink wrap C rations, Vietnam issue C rations in his garage. He says, "Dave, take as many as you want." I went home, got the wagon, and I took him up on it. So me and my friends, we would grab our Joes, grab Vietnam issue C rations, and go in our woods and be gone for the weekend, dude. for the weekend. I mean, we'd pitch a stupid little tent, sleep under there. Our parents didn't care. You know what I mean? I didn't end up on a milk carton, so they were cool. I guess they were like, win. But we had the freedom, man. And we would go out there and do that stuff because we were military kids. You know, I wanted that Rambo knife with the compass and stuff like that. I don't think if G.I. Joe came out in those 83 lines, 84 lines, looking as different military as they did, I don't think most would accept it. And like even my dad and the guy at Kmart looking at them saying, this is fresh as hell, because the generation that was paying for that toy, all they knew was Green Army men and metal soldiers when he was a kid. So when my dad looked at it, he was like, legit Army toy, good, cool for my son, So that's why I feel that the 82 line is really kind of its own unique thing, because that is Headman's drug to get kids like me onto the brand, and then on top of it, the Mobat was so incredible that I remember kids that had the Monster and the Animal and those weird vehicles. They bought Mobats. They didn't even collect G.I. Joe, but they wanted a Mobat.
Right. Yeah, it was there was a noticeable vision with that 82 year. And believe it or not, it was something that, so when I first saw G.I. Joes, there was only, I think this was the tail end of 82. And at KB, which is the toy store in the mall that I went to, I've talked about that, so that it was, I remember going in there and I remember they had a bunch of the Star Wars figures. They had some He-Man. And then at the end of the aisle, they had 4 figures. And I'm pretty sure it was Scarlet, Short Fuse, Breaker, and another very boring looking figure, right? And I remember seeing them and going, in my mind went, they're just like the Star Wars figures, which they weren't, right? They were different enough. Yeah. But in my mind, I went, they're just like the Star Wars figures.
So you and I kind of, that's boring. I don't want nothing to do with it.
I kind of, it looked cooler, but I made that assumption that the movement and everything was going to be exactly the same, and it wasn't. So that was my mistake with that. But it wasn't until the following year when I went into KB one time, and then they had those same figures moved over with a bunch more of the ones from 82. But here was Destro. Yeah, here was Snake Eyes, because they didn't have Snake Eyes that first time I saw them. When that initial run, they didn't have a Snake Eyes. That it might have drew me in then, but they had Destro, the Snake Eyes version. I'm pretty sure it was 1.5, and then I don't remember, there was 6 other ones that were there, and I bought the Destro and the Snake Eyes, and then promptly wound up returning, getting the rest that they had there, and then it was all of a sudden I was like, wait a minute. There's toy aisles in like Caldor and Kmart's and like all these other places, and I can remember going there and looking for Joe's, and that became the hunt. And also right down the street from where I lived, there was a CVS, because I lived in a
good, but double the price.
They were definitely expensive. Yeah, right. Instead of $1.99, they were $3.99 or $2.99. 100%. They were.
I've ever seen Footloose in the wild was at a Perry Drugs. I bought them.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And his sling was broken. And I remember as a kid going to the counter to return it, and the lady giving me a hassle, not understanding that like my sling on is broken. I need a new figure. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, days of Walmart return were not like that. And then and actually getting another Footloose, because that was a cool figure for me. Footloose was legit 80s Alice. Like he was the infantry trooper of the 80s, common gear, and that's what he was, man. Footloose was awesome.
Footloose was definitely cool. And God, when you said that, I think there's a outside chance that I think there was the only time I ever saw Mad Marauders or Tiger Force was in that's right. What do you call it? Toys R Us had Tiger Force, but it was definitely one of them. It was either Mad Marauders, it might even have been Night Force. It was the only time I ever saw any of those figures was in CVS, which I thought was relatively interesting. So I just wanted to say what's up real quick. My brother, Dreadnought E, my boy Ellis, hailing Cobra in the house. Oh, Ellis, dude, I have been such a terrible person returning your messages. So I got your message so he was the gentleman that pointed out that I had the wrong fucking date. It wasn't that I accidentally put 22. I thought for sure that today was the 22nd. That's why I wrote that initially. Ellis is the one that brought that to my attention, and I greatly appreciate it. Also in the house, G.I. Joe Guy 84, otherwise known as Conrad Hauser. What's up, my brother? I'm glad you made it in, my dude, for sure.
Thanks, dude.
Alice wants to know what you missed. You didn't miss much, brother. We've just been chit-chatting about a bunch of shit. Big Red says Snake Eyes is extremely complex, especially if you look at what the guy has dealt with in his life and consider the psychological fortitude he must have to handle everything without losing it. So, Red, that's excellent. I love what you said. That is actually going to be a separate article, right? There's a whole other side there's a side of Snake Eyes to that with the reality that we know. Kind of what I speak to is like, let me put it this way. Some of the scariest monsters in the movie are the monsters that you don't see.
Right.
Yes. And it's because you fill that blank space in with your own fears. Nothing that a writer's going to write is going to scare you like you're going to scare you because you know the deep shit. And so you fill that blank space with scary stuff. I feel like there's an aspect to Snake Eyes that everybody does, and not necessarily in a horror movie way, but like with good stuff, with bad stuff, you can he's a blank slate. Now there is obviously, if you had the comics as a kid and you were super into them, maybe this won't hit as hard, because I understand that they did kind of spell out what he had been through. But my point mostly is that, you know, when he doesn't talk, well, now I'm really just saying the whole article. When he doesn't talk and you don't get to hear a voice or his actual words, you are missing out on what defines a character to you. With the absence of that, you're then filling in that space where all of those things fill. So that's all I'm going to say about the article. Just, I mean, that is like the turning point in it, when you're like, oh, okay, now I understand what he's writing about. Because a lot of the stuff I write, sometimes I like launch into it, and then it isn't until I say something that explains that it's not really on purpose. It's just how it kind of comes out. But yeah, so just give that a read. I think everybody will find that enjoying. But
all your articles, and they're good, dude. My favorite was the grenade into the toy industry, because that was the same thing for me. The only thing that remained after that grenade was 75% Joe, maybe 20% Transformers, and 5 miscellaneous. I don't know, but that was a good article. But another thing I'd like to point out, what you just said, and you being a relatively new collector to the G.I. Joe brand, is there's like, we had for so long message boards, and it was the only way we communicated, dude. I started on a site that was called Small Joe's, I believe, and it's not even the same type of site anymore. We were all buddies. We're a Joe community, and I want to say that the curator or one of the guys died, and then that site kind of disappeared. And then Tony, he started the Hiss Tank and TFW and these boards, and that's where we got all of our information, dude. We had to search for it. Right now look at what's going on. You've got a place that's professional, like Serpentor's Lair, bringing on guys for creative design. It's I go to the Hiss Tank now, like, just to be like, say, hey, what's going on? It's the 20 same guys talking over and over. The entire paradigm has shifted from how we as collectors have to get our information. Now our information is basically spoon-fed to us, where we before had to search for it. when the internet first hit the scene, dude, I learned more about G.I. Joe because, like I said, G.I. Joe had a clear stopping point for me. My dad, he worked his whole life, started out in Southwest Detroit. We moved to Waterford. Then he moved us out to Holly, 10 acres on the hill. Then he got cancer and died relatively quickly. So, like, I went from a kid that had really a lot, what I wanted to absolutely nothing, and then my mom was just a terrible person too. But, like, I had a stopping point from comics and G.I. Joe that when the internet came back, dude, I was able to read some of this stuff. I was like, I missed like issue 155. I didn't know G.I. Joe stopped. And when I finally picked up 155 and I read it, and everything that I had been through with Hama in these comics, and I read 155, Snake Eyes telling Wade's son, like in those words, the way that one dude.
Right.
An article about a comic expert, and he broke down the 10 most impactful, grittiest moments in all of comic history. You know what made number 3? The Gulag story in G.I. Joe. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think so. That's
where Snow Job, Quick Kick, and Stalker and Outback were on a mission, and Snow Job caught one, and Stalker told Outback, "Go back and get help, because if nobody knows we're here, we're off the books." They were off the books.
Right.
So Outback had to go back and tell the team, and every Joe they hated Outback. They were like, "How could you leave your bros?" And
right.
You gotta understand. I looked Stalker in the eye, and he told me what to do. That's Stalker, bro. So, like, I can relate with these guys, and that story is so gritty, dude. You want to talk? I don't think that story would be done in this day and age, dude. I really don't, because it is pretty brutal.
It's tough.
What our Joes went through in the Gulag. Whoa.
Yeah, no, they were very. I think Conrad pointed out in that the first like 2 years of the comic were very, very military focused, which was good. Like I do remember reading issue 1 back then, and I remember being blown away by it. And I also remember
top-down views.
It's so much. Yeah, Conrad actually sent me a copy of issue 1, and so it was roughly this time last year, maybe around my birthday. That he sent it, and I remember reading it, and I just remember being like, holy fuck, I forgot how amazing that this was. Like, they somehow used all of the military lingo in a way that it was digestible for kids, but it was also so good.
Guys took the time to say LRRP * yellow box long range recon patrol. So, like, a kid that didn't know could actually know what alert team was. You know what I mean? I was lucky because I had cats that were in my living room boofing down with my dad, telling me stories of walking through tiger grass. You know what I mean?
Right, for sure. Big Red, have a good night, brother. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. Also wanted to say what's up to my brother, Commander Unicron, in the house. What's up? Welcome in. Glad you can make it. That's my dude. Definitely he's got an awesome collection. He's got a ton of like
good sense of humor too. I like that cat.
Different stuff. Yeah, no, for sure. He rocks the house. But yeah, no, going back and reading that first edition and really kind of got me back into it. And then there was a handful of other people that in the past year have tried to send me, like Stevie Z sent me like a zip drive that had a lot of stuff on it. There was a lot of people sent me like different ways for me to digest the old comic, and I just couldn't quite get into it until I got the compendiums. They popped up on Amazon on sale. I think it was like,
thank you, Pop Cult.
Oh my God, yes, exactly. And
I'm waiting for the third.
Me too. Me too. Me too. And I was very ecstatic with that. So I mean, that's a very decent price. I mean, you do got to hold the whole book and everything, but it doesn't matter. You can go through a couple of issues real quick, put it down. That's what I like it for.
Am I a fool because I missed the ads? Dude, I love the old comic book ads, and I bought so much of that stuff, man. Like Task Force, the C set, Revolutionary War Soldier set, $2.95 with 39-cent shipping. I love that stuff, man. I could watch. I actually, dude, Amazon has all the vintage comic book ads on these little tins. I think I'm gonna decorate my my VR room with them, dude. They're cool, man.
For sure. Real quick, because I've been talking about it all week. So I have had such little time that this is as far as I've gotten with my Dragonfly, which is in essence putting the tail onto it. And let me tell you, dude, I don't know how at one point I was like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna get that. I was like, oh, space and everything and whatever. It is absolutely outstanding. Like, it is unfucking believably awesome. The shape and like scope of it is perfect. And I don't even have the propeller on yet. So I just had to shout out my brother Dan Salcedo. Everybody knows he's got that great channel, Curator Dan Collects, going on. And if you haven't seen any episodes yet, go check it out. He's a dude who bought.
He's awesome.
He is awesome, and he bought and collected shit for.
He collected everything, and now he's opening it, right?
And now he's opening it. So this is years worth of purchasing, and not just GI Joes. Like, his channel, I think, is mostly him opening his shows, but he also has a ton of Transformers. He's got Marvel Legends. He's got Mezcos. He's got like ramen toys. He had the.
Did you see Kid? Did you see Kid? The ramen toys kit with Hasselhoff. It comes with a
yes.
Lights, bro.
I did see that, and it looks pretty.
Listen, ramen toys. Let's get on the Bandit.
I liked it. I liked it enough. But it just, I don't know. It's depending on how much it is. I would be interested. But the problem is that it's space. And so when I start thinking about stuff like that, like, as much as it's great, and honestly, it's just like, Pop Cult Frenzy says the Dragonfly is gorgeous, bro. It's incredibly gorgeous.
Absolutely gorgeous.
But I definitely just wanted to shout out my brother Dan, because not only has Dan been amazing in putting me in the driver's seat of what is now the Rattler and the Dragonfly and the Rattler figures. He's just a great friend. I talk to him every day, to be honest with you. And he's we have a lot in common, and it's and he's nice. He's the best. Commander Unicron says Destro designs you and the Dragonfly was inevitable. Yes, I agree. But so what happened was I saw I did see it in person. The guy local that I've bought a ton of Joes from, he had it up on a thing. I couldn't take it down because he had stuff around it. So I didn't really get the full, but I remember seeing it and going, wow, that looks way cooler than I thought in the pictures. And that's how I wound up looking. Cal says, I don't know what the question is, but he says, paramilitary Leo, 26 years. I didn't know exactly what you did, brother, but that's
legit, dude.
Riptide Larry says 20-year vet. That's pretty awesome. Yeah. That is Twitter actually just wondering about the crossover. Oh, right. Oh, well, I thank all of you for your service, no matter what it is. That's for sure. Orxigio says med retired. Hey, that's fucking A.
Riptide. Hold on.
Nice. 10.5 years. US.
Riptide. There's a POTUS. And I didn't buy it.
Nice. Pop Cult Frenzy says, I need to watch more of Dan's vids. Yeah, listen, I think he's dropping. I'm trying to think. He just did the one with the Hiss tank and the Ramen Toys tank, the Hunter Killer, I think it was. So there's that one. I know he said in a couple of videos he is going to do the Dragonfly and the Rattler, I think, which is awesome. But he's got, I just like how he's going back and not doing it exactly in the waves that they were released, but he's picking, a handful of figures, just opening them up, and you get to see the excitement.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, the one with his tank is really good. You can hear the excitement. And honestly, and I'm not, and this is for sure. Like, so when I was watching that video of him with the his tank, it was really bringing me back to my memory of when I got my his tank. And so that's kind of what prompted me to write that article too. So shout out to Dan for all of that. I appreciate it, brother. Commander Unicron says, I'm torn between hanging my flying vehicles, keeping them down to play with and take pictures. So when I get to the next studio, I'll have it modular and have them on pulleys. Oh yeah, no, that'd be great. And that is the thing, you know. Let's see. I felt like I missed something. No, I did not. I did not. Okay. So we are gonna hop to what is the hyped part of the podcast. So a joint operation that comes at the thoughtfulness and generosity of GI Dave. I had expressed it. It started with Cal.
It started with Cal L. I fell in love with Cal L. He did it to me again.
For sure. And he had something that I had just kind of mentioned more than once, that, you know, because you have a list of things that you can't just go out and buy, right? You've got to, you know, just, I was like, this is something I probably have to like set aside money for or whatever. And so sometimes when it's that, you know, you just never get around to doing it. And especially sometimes if I see something, I won't even go look for it. I'll just be like, all right, when I'm in a position to purchase or something like that, I will get it going. So
I use it as a reward. I use the things that I want as drive for me to get things done. And I use like something like that Firefly that I bought. That was a personal reward for me. And I put that in my sights. And I put personal rewards that are attainable in my sights so that I can crush that goal. And then I reward myself. And it only drives me to complete goals further. So if you put stupid little goals like that in front of you and make that as your driving force, reward yourself. Reward yourself.
Dangle the carrot. It's okay, for sure. Listen, if you can tell yourself a little white lie or a little trick to get yourself over the hump of something in life, it's more than okay. The saying "fake it till you make it" is just like, it's not the healthiest way to handle things sometimes, but it works. So anyway, once again, you know, to Dave's generosity and thoughtfulness, what we are opening right now is dun, dun, dun.
You take a mortal man.
Yeah. So, you know, 1-6, you know, is not my sky. I don't have anything else 1-6. But when Cal popped this out, I kept looking at it and seeing it, and I was like, dude, why does this suddenly look like my favorite version of Snake Eyes? And so what this one does, and I'm just going to show the box a little bit more. What this one does is it takes all the best parts of the version 4 and then accentuates those, but then it also takes the parts that I necessarily don't like, and that's the big gray vest, and they make it all black. Now, I definitely like my Snake Eyes to have the ninja aspect and to definitely have swords. So but I prefer him to let the commando side have the edge. So when you see something like this, where everything down the front is all commando, especially he's got the sweater, the commando goggles, the mask, but he's got the two swords in, like, you know, just in the coolest thing. So let's start to open this up. Let me make some room.
Real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
When I told you I was buying all that stuff for my son, right?
Yeah.
And there was a point where, like, I wanted to teach my son about Snake Eyes, and I was like, David, this is version 1 Snake Eyes. He's a commando. Here's version 2 Snake Eyes. He's kind of like got a sword. He's ninja. He's got a wolf. Here's version 3 Snake Eyes. Now, he's pretty gangster. He's got his trench knives, and his outfit was put together by 3 dudes that were about to torture him. Which one is the best? And my son says, Dad, this is the best Snake Eyes.
Right.
And I'm like, and I'm looking at this at my son, like, I don't know if I should beat you or hug you. Like, what are you saying? No, that's
Right.
not even close. Because this to me was always stupid. Okay, it was always stupid, and it took my little son, my little boy, to explain to me that no, Dad, look at he's got a tactical vest. He's got infrared goggles. Look at his backpack that shoots a grappling hook. Dude, my son had like legit reasons why this is the best Snake Eyes. And when I seen Cal Els, that was it. It was the decision was made. And then you made the point. I literally just said anybody that is really into G.I. Joe should at least own one of these. And then you said, man, I really like that one. My local comic shop was lucky to have two. So it worked out.
It's very awesome. Very generous of you. And like I said, we will find a way to work something out. But
actually, hold on, man. Like, for real talk. Like, this community, I have been in a very bad spot for a very long time. And I am feeling the best I have ever felt in years. And it took something that somebody, 100 people told me the same thing, but it wasn't until a fellow tradesman said something to me and I heard it. I may have heard the noise from other people, but my friend here gave me a just man to man, like, hey dude, check this out. And I heard it. And Destro, I appreciate you and the community that we've got going on here. Whether or not you did this, whether it came together apart, I'm glad to be here, and I love everybody we interact with. I just think everybody that we interact with has something to bring to the table.
Yeah, we're very lucky, and I appreciate you, brother. I do. I appreciate your honesty on that. Kind of, going back to the show on Saturday, anytime anybody that has found a light here, right? Mark Potter, CG Horror are guys that have been very open about the struggles that they had, both of them last year, and how the community was a part. Now, of course, they took the steps. It's not just the community. Those two guys were going through it, and they got better because they started off with, by getting the strength to stand forward and say, I need help, getting the help, accepting it, and then doing the things that the help tells you that you have to do. But what we offered as a community to these guys is a place to spend your time where you feel like you're a part of something, because the thing is like you said, we all have something to bring to the table. And we live in a society where people are largely judged by all kinds of fucked up standards and shit, but that's not here, right?
You're not kidding. Yeah, dude, that's great. That was great. I like that. Dude, cut the tape, bro. Cut the tape. I want you to get the stink, dude. I want to see your impression when you see this thing, dude.
All right. So here we go. All right. Oh, turn that around. Let's see. There we go. Very good. So hold on. Let me see if I can. Oh, I can smell it. I can definitely smell it. Oh, it kind of smells like leather. It smells a little like leather. Oh, that's not too bad. Maybe it's one of those weird things, how some people like to smell like gasoline. I'll be like, oh, this is great.
Actually, this one's not bad.
Dude,
this is not bad at all.
This is as good as any box art I've ever seen. This is fucking, which is important to me. It's a part of the, oh yeah. It is, I can feel it though. It is an odor. All right, so what do we got? We got a nice little, like an inventory sheet.
Yeah, dude.
Nice.
You do a good job with these, man.
Nice. Orxizio says this is my guy therapy. I appreciate it, brother, for sure.
Aww,
yeah, and Riptide.
That's exactly how I feel about it, bro.
Yeah, and like Riptide says, and we talked about this on the show the other night. You said you're all my bros. We all go home or nobody goes home. And ain't that the truth? Cal says you're all a bunch of awesome nerds. I know we are. We are decent, and that's the thing. Like my wife actually was like, "Man, you guys are a bunch of fucking nerds." And trust me, if you knew my wife, she means that with love. That's how she communicates. But I was
attention by sending me like Chat GP modified Baroness pictures of her.
So I have people that constantly say things like, "Oh, look at that. Okay, that's the cover." I have people that here. Let me see if I can turn it down a little bit. So I have people that say constantly, they're like, "Wait," I'll be like, "Oh, I'm doing that podcast on Saturday," and they'll be like, "Oh, you're doing it again?" I was like, "Again? I do it every week," and they're like, "You talk about G.I. Joe for hours every week?" I'm like, yeah, like a couple nights a week, in fact. And they were like, what? And they're just like, what could you possibly have to talk about? And I'm like, well, there's a lot of figures and stuff and, whatever. Yeah, it's very funny. Oh, man, look at this motherfucker. Woo, doggy.
So they package him really nice. And
oh, God damn.
Dude, Cal, you didn't tell me. You didn't prepare me for this, Cal.
It looks even better than I thought.
Dude, Cal.
Damn.
That is too cool, man. He's got
What? Holy shit. So the detail.
Look at that. Look at that red on the visor, dog.
Dude, it's a standout feature for sure. But God,
dude, check out
soft goods.
Check out the pistol.
Oh, dude, they're ridiculous. The
pistol actually rack, and you can disassemble the pistol.
Wow, that's crazy. Hold on here. Let me get this plastic off his waist. I got to see the dude. The soft goods look so incredible. Look at that. I hope it translates through the screen because I know that. I mean, Cal took amazing pictures.
Yeah. He took those pictures, and those pictures that he took sold me on the like. I was done. I was like, okay, that's my.
All right, so there we got the hands. Looks like we got a bunch of grenades. Okay, here we got the swords. Wow, these swords are ridiculous, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah.
What? All right, them swords are all taped up in there here. I'm trying to make it so y'all can see that. Wow, dude. Holy fuck. This really is masterpiece shit.
No, I told you, dude. This is champagne, bro.
Oh, dude, is it the same company that makes the Major Blood? Because I saw Major Blood. He looks.
Kal-El's got that one. Of course he does.
Oh, God. Jesus Christ. That thing is ridiculous. But this is the one, though, bro.
So when you seen that post where that
holy shit,
all those sideshows, yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Oh my God,
yeah, I did. Look,
oh my God,
look at the rounds in it,
dude. What?
Does the same.
What?
Does the same thing.
All right, I don't want to show the whole thing. I wish I could.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll at another time. But dude, oh my God, this is. I know that. Does the stock pivot out, or is that because it looks like it's on a?
No,
I was gonna say.
Dude, it's a complete.
Oh my God! Oh my God, dude! See, why don't they just make everything this good and we'll pay for it, right?
But that's what I'm like.
All right, here we go.
I gotta say, like, the more I see Haya, the more I think that's where my scale's at, dude. I think that's where my heart's at with the scale. I love classified. And I think for guys that do photography, you can't get better than classified, but I still think my heart is still in
there's something to that. I agree. I have to say that. So the thing is I do have, like I said, about a dozen of the 3 3/4. I'm just trying to get this fucking thing open. I have about a dozen of the 3 3/4 that I was obsessed with, and then I have about another dozen figures that are miscellaneous ones that I had from when I was younger or 2008, and then I have a handful that members of the community were nice enough to send to me. And every time I get them, I definitely get hit with a wave of nostalgia. It definitely makes me go, yo, this is amazing.
Yeah, dude.
And when I do take pictures of it, it actually really looks better than I expect. But unfortunately, for photography, that classified is just undefeated right now.
I mean,
this shit right here.
For that. But like for me, the vehicles were every bit of cool, as cool as the characters of G.I. Joe.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Wow, look at that.
When G.I. Customs came on, and he's like, I do a minimum of one night Raven a week. I was like, what? I mean,
is that what he said?
Number two, it's incredible that you have a fan base that can spend that on a Night Raven a week. Good
Wait,
for you, dude.
was the Night Raven a week? I think he only did one of the Night Ravens. I think he was talking about, was it the Havoc? Because it was definitely a couple vehicles that in particular, but I think so. And the only reason I say this is because the very next day when when I said, "Yo, did you print a Night Raven?" and he gave us the specs, right? He was like 5.5 feet long. The very next day, I saw a member of our community posted a picture underneath the promo for the show, and it was Retro Cobra Command, classified Retro Cobra Commander, with his hand out on the very tip of a Night Raven. And I was like, "Bro, is that classified scale? And are you the one who got it from Jack Customs?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's me." So Lewis from our community is the one that got that one. And so that's the only reason I'm saying I thought it was just the one.
Cool.
But he did say there was a vehicle that something, I said something and he was like, "Oh, I get an order for one of those a week." But I think it was something else. He did say that. Oh man, yo, this dude, this is the standard. Like, why don't they just make everything good? You know what I mean? Here, if I would, next time I'm in a board meeting, I'm just gonna, or a boardroom of any kind, I'm just gonna say, okay, I have this radical idea. We're just gonna make it good.
Isn't that cool though?
Right, for sure. Mo's Mind says 1/6 scale vamp would be 32 inches by 20 inches by 16 inches. Okay, that's big.
I tell you, a 12-year-old me would have said run it, print it. But like now, I do like the small figures, and I like the big ones too.
Dude, those higher figures are as good as anything that's out there, though, right? As much as I'm saying, toy photography, the scale, et cetera, et cetera. There's nothing. Oh, good. So he comes with 3 of these jammies, which are really sweet. And then I'm still looking. There's something on here that I don't know what these are. But, oh, man, I'm sorry, y'all. I know I'm not doing a good job showing you for the camera. I'm literally just oogling at it myself and trying not to squeal. All right, so it looks like I can put these anywhere. Does it show on the box?
It actually, in the instructions, it'll tell you exactly where to put them.
Oh, no, they're all right on this thing here. Yeah. Okay, now I actually see. So, dude, what? Let me just show you all what I'm doing. So, Night Force Beachhead has a setup that's, hold on, let me see if I get that up. So he's got right on his leg a spot, almost in a bandolier style, for those. That is something I'm going to open up my second pack of Night Force Beachhead just so I can get those little flashbang looking ones that got the NF on it. So here's what I'm just messing with there. Yes. I just put dude, come on.
I know,
just
man.
Come on. Jesus. So I'm just going to try to switch hands. So I don't want to put a pew-pew in his hand, but I'm definitely going to put a sword in his hand. And this, dude, it stands with an attitude way better than I thought it was going to. You know what I mean? Because it's so big that you're like, oh, this is going to be a bitch. And the one thing about super quality stuff that I've noticed after I got that Mezco and now that I have this is that everything can move so fucking smoothly. It's just a matter of, did they spend the money on making it right, nice, or what? All right, here we go.
Dude, I got legitimate gripes about the classified line. Like as much as, dude, I bought.
Oh, there's things, but, for sure.
They put so much effort into butterfly joints, and we don't have butterfly joints in classified, dude. You're only getting 3 degrees of motion at the fingertips from the shoulder. It's, and then like the kit outs are my biggest problem. So like the community's going crazy for Big Lob. Everybody wants Big Lob. I didn't want Big Lob. I don't care, but he looked like a cool figure, so I bought him. And he's got this dope 40 Mike with a custom holster. Dude didn't forget his basketball, but didn't bring no ammo to the job, bro.
That's so crazy.
You didn't bring no ammo. I ain't got no kickets for you. You ain't my squad.
Bro, there is a bunch of little things like that. So one thing, I think I might have mentioned this, and hopefully I haven't said it here a bunch of times. So they do things like, and it's a total complete oversight. So they'll do things like only give you the pew pew finger hand, say on his left side. And then what they do is
my
up.
biggest gripe, dude.
Well, I wouldn't mind if what they do is then they have a bunch of stuff like on like a bandolier or something up in the shoulder that he can only hold it with his hand, but he can't shoulder it because there's shit in the way. And it's like, well, then you should have put the pew pew thing on the other hand. That's the shit that makes me nuts. It's like that's somebody dropping the ball.
Crazy is I see pew pews that cannot be made ambidextrous, and the dude has got a left hand. Oh, it drives me nuts.
Dude.
Like,
right.
But those were the little details.
Crazy.
That looks good, dude. That's the champagne there, ain't it, baby?
Dude, oh my God. It's so unbelievably awesome. Like it's, first it's really, so obviously it's the fair, but this version of Snake Eyes, it's perfection.
My son gave me the love for this figure.
Wow, dude. I mean, it's because when you look at it, there's a couple things like, okay, so he's got the one protected, like he doesn't have that on the other arm.
Yeah.
So now the lead-in arm, right?
Yeah. So and I mean, even him with that particular pew pew that he's got, Snake Eyes is coming in like this, dude, and he's coming in hot. You know what I mean? And I see functionality there that is not apparent in the line that I love. You know what I mean?
Right. No, it's true, dude.
A perfect example of like the Alley Viper, where everybody complains about that magazine on that rifle. Okay.
Oh yeah.
From a tactical perspective, if I have this arm with a shield and I have this pew, I want my magazine on the outside of that pew so I can hold my shield, bring my pew in like this, and use my hand to manipulate that mag. There's a spot like collectors don't get because they don't go out in the woods. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like being able to hold that shield and do this, you're manipulating the mag with your hand. There's brilliance there that I think it's lost.
Oh, for sure. It's and it is sometimes when you look at it, what makes it more of a kick in the dick is when it's something simple or small. Like Bobby Valla talking about that it would only cost pennies to have hands put in with every figure. You hear that and you're just like, oh, come on, that's ass. Why can't
I know a lot. I'm not a smart man, but I know a lot about different industries, okay? Toys, industry manufacture, I know very little, okay? But if I got a cat like Bobby, and I like Bobby a lot. I like what he says, and I like the cat. But when he says you could throw extra hands in there for pennies, I'm sorry, I gotta believe him, dude. I don't. Well,
really dude, for sure. I don't think he's lying. No, I don't think so.
And we got the same thing coming up with the Hydro Viper, the Demon of the Deep. Now, I mean, come on.
Oh yeah. That's
in the 80s. That one hand was awesome. In the 80s, that one hand did go over a lot of Joe's faces. But this is 2026, and you should have gave us 2 webbed hands, weapon holding hands, and maybe even something crazy like one of these with the webs or something to show it off crazy. I mean, biggest drop opportunity
I agree.
To show that these guys are surgically enhanced. I'm happy you like that, dude. I am.
Dude, I can't stop looking at it. I'm hosting a fucking show and I'm like doing nothing but playing with the toy. So
that's it, man. Like when Conrad was on and you were talking, Conrad made up a new thing, dude. Live dios. Like, I mean, dude, the whole time we were talking and he's just like, hey, yeah, I'm still talking comic books and stuff, dude.
Oh, shit.
Man, dude, he was cool. You got to have him on.
Oh, no, for sure. There's a lot of guests that I've had on that I'm going to squeeze on again. I'm just trying to find. I got to find a way to make sure I'm getting my brother Jay Antonio on. We got to keep that another episode of the Power Hour, perhaps even next
You're
week. I
sleeping
got
with
to
that
reach out
tonight,
to him.
ain't you?
I'm going to tell you what, dude, I'm already very interested. Well, dude, you can't get classified figures to stand like right off the bat. I'm getting them to roughly stand in I'm saying they're relatively tough positions, but see, and now all I want to do is I want to figure out what combination of sword and triggered weapon that I can get because I'm trying to get it. I can't quite get it to look okay. So I'm just gonna, so you get a little something like this. Oh,
That's
dude,
cool.
I don't like this, man. I fucking love it. It's a testament. So this vest, this vest is incredible, and it reminds me a lot. Oh, they even move. Oh, look at that. So you can these even got a little wiggle to them. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Man, they are not fucking around. They're not fucking around with this. The one thing I really am just because there's so much to take in here, I'm just now realizing he has a really sweet official thigh holster that is looking tight. That thing is nice and diesel. That's the full body. Dude, this thing is ridiculous. It's almost got true K-bar.
Yeah, and it's got a spot to stick on too.
Jesus Christmas. So all the little pouches, first of all, he's got 50 million little pouches, but they're all like done so perfectly. And he's got like these mini bandoliers that are just on the side with, I'm assuming, I don't even know what, at first I thought they looked like whatchamacallit, but they're not.
Look at those, look at these tiny little things on his waist, dude. What are those?
With these things right here, these?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I was just saying. At first, I thought it was ammo, but then.
Kal-El, is that some kind of mini flashbang you guys use?
I don't know what that is. It almost looks like a small. What do you call it? Where you press the top and chuck that fucker. I can't think of what the hell it's called, but. Oh, I dropped one of those grenades. It's kind of like that, like a flashbang. There we go. Hold on. All right, so I'm gonna have to find a way to get whatever incendiary this is on this little clip thing because it looks like there's some kind of a detail on there that looks like if you get it to sit right, it'll keep them separated and it's like a little. Oh yeah, there we go. God. Look at how awesome that looks,
dude!
It's ridiculous,
they're cool, man. They're
dude.
Cool.
The detail is crazy, and because everything is so big, you have to go extra hard to nail the detail. You know what I'm saying? Because everything is so much bigger. If it doesn't look right, that is the thing. Like it's one of the reasons why I think those Hayas look so good is because it's easier to. It's easier to accentuate certain things because you can't see any of it that well. You know what I mean?
Honestly, dude, if you
that didn't sound right. That didn't sound right. They're amazing. They're amazing. They've got my attention. I'm just scared to buy one. But Riptide posted a picture for me earlier, which thank you again, brother. He posted the one with the Haya beachhead, and dude, it's really got my attention. That Alley Viper looks amazing, and when they take liberties with a figure and just like make it look a little bit different, they put their own little flick.
Like the best iteration of a Cobra Trooper I've ever seen, and I am the OG Alley Viper is probably one of my top 3 or 4 figures.
Right, for sure. What, Cal? What Hayas do you have? I know you do. I know you ordered a bunch, but I didn't know. Did you actually get any? I mean, I pretty much. I'm more than happy to take Riptide's. Whatchamacallit?
I know he's got
Riptide says play, damn it, play. Yeah, dude. No, this is a testament to what you can do with figures, and I'm absolutely in love. With this Snake Eyes figure, 100%. I think it's fucking fantastic. I gotta put that back on here. I love the really soft goods done right, bro, are undefeated.
You can't beat it, and that's why I'm saying like like this Duke, this Mezco Duke, the Mezco Snake Eyes, and
Oh yeah.
who else?
That Firefly. That Firefly is fucking what?
That's the one I don't have. I gotta get Firefly next. But this Destro, this cannot be beat. And as a public service, my local comic shop, they're like family to me. They've already worked out a deal. Like if I want to borrow a vehicle to analyze it, they'll let me take it home and stuff like that.
Oh,
But
that's awesome.
they have 3 of these Mezco Destros, and I think they're $60, and they have one that is open so you can just see it. It's not touched. And I
It's
think
so
that
good.
was 50. So if one of you guys want me to pick it up for you, no problem. Just message me.
So I'll tell you right now that 50 for that figure is an absolute steal.
Deal.
Shipping wouldn't be that bad. 50 is an absolute steal. I love that figure. Paul Morales from at the Toy Chamber sent me one. Dude, that figure is ridiculous. Yeah, Paul sent that. Paul's a great guy, man. Awesome.
Golden, man.
Yeah, for sure. Always right there for the big time sport. And that's what I do shout it out as best as I can. But like there's a group of people that if they weren't there supporting in all the ways that they have been, since the beginning, who knows how much the podcast goes, right? I mean, God bless those people who power through show after show of like one person listening, and I'm a talkaholic. I could talk to just about any amount of people, but the fact that there was so much support and everything that I just really found it to be, very encouraging. And so I'm very happy to like, hopefully to have given back to the community. So it was 2025 was an awesome year. Made a lot of amazing friends. Cal says Firefly, Torpedo, Beachhead, Crimson Guard, and then have Shipwreck, Roadblock, Zartan, Range Viper, Alley Viper, and Crimson Viper on pre-order. So the Range Viper, the Alley Viper, and the regular Viper, Firefly Beachhead are ones that I could see myself really wanting. But they are like 40, right? Isn't that what they are? I think basically.
I don't care. I
don't blame. No, I love it. I love that.
At this point, like I said, I love Classified for what it is, and I kind of wish that I got my dream piece Serpentor and throttled, because when Road Pig hit is when I said I am not a completionist anymore. And
right.
And now I'm sitting on too much like boxed and mock stuff that I need to sell. But and I don't do this for an investment, don't get me wrong, but I'm also not completely dumb, because I've been through this long enough. Everybody's saying, "Oh, end of the line, death of the line" with Lenny and all this stuff.
Oh, yes.
Listen, I'm going to tell you guys that I've been doing this long enough, and there's guys in this chat that will say, you know what, I think Dave's right. That we will ride. Let's just say Hasbro and Lenny today said, we're going to stop G.I. Joe. We still have a year and a half to possible 2 years of new products. And then after that, you're going to finally get the re-releases of these with real card backs. You'll get vamps. You'll get everything that you've seen for the next 5 years in a repackaged box, because I've been down this road before.
Nice.
Lenny's a good guy, and I liked him in the streams and all that stuff, his creative thing. But from what I seen, his love was really Dreadnoks. He loved the Dreadnoks, and he put like character in the Dreadnoks that we never had before. That's cool.
For sure.
Boss Fight makes a great product. They really do. Like, I got this 1/18th like Inferno Spartan thing. You know what I mean? If they had creative design, if they had creative drive for their figures, they do great with generic figures. Generic figures, they're king. But if they had creative design to give some guys some names, I really think that like Lenny's gonna crush it over there, because that's kind of his jam. And for me, I'm not gonna say I've been like sucking it up. I enjoy classified, but pretty much every troop that comes down, the only troop I feel it was kitted pretty good was grunt.
Oh, dude, that is a killer figure. I think my brother Jay Antonio at one point said that was his number one figure, classified figure altogether, and I couldn't argue with him because, dude, that the whole thing with that little mini computer that folds and like it is a perfect upgrade to like a soldier. Thankfully, I got a few of them because now they're $50. If you haven't looked in a while, they're fucking $50 a piece. So. Dude,
I walked into
Walmart. Wolf Spider, the Grunt, I think Crimson Alley Vipers have jumped up a little bit. That one you might be able, but no, definitely. Yeah, those first two figures I just said there, the Grunt and oh Jesus, they were both around like $30. Oh yeah, the Wolf Spider. Totally 50. Even the Mole Rat version 1 is hard to find. So it's all that Walmart exclusive shit where they're distributing's ass. Nobody,
time for me to come off all my extras. If there's like serious holes in your guys' collection, and there's stuff that you're missing, drop me a DM because I probably have. I don't have an extra Serpentor. I don't have an extra Vamp, but for the most part, I have extras and I'll be selling them. If you guys have first shot, otherwise I'll eBay them and make some money on them. That's it. But when you talk about grunts, so you were saying I see no reason for a retro grunt. Dude, this grunt is not retro for me, and he works in no way for OG because
dude, the retro grunt is just this guy. It's just this guy now. Like this is the Joe Trooper. That new grunt looks like it's this. So that's what he's gonna.
But he's got his grunt colors that I talk about, and he jams right in with Zap and Short Fuse and those other guys. So I've got classified grunt sitting on my OG shelf, and he sticks out like a sore thumb. He just like I look at it and like, dude, you're at the wrong party, aren't you?
It's a really awesome figure, though.
It is, dude. Classified grunt is amazing, and the one thing I would have added to classified grunt because he is infantry is even though it's a little bit older, I would have given him the Land Warrior system with the camera gun and the OICW.
Right.
The old tech, dude, but like giving Grunt a Land Warrior system would have just been like, that's cool.
Yeah, for sure. Cal, I gotta say thank you for buying this first, and because I didn't know it existed. I had never seen this whatsoever until you posted it, and I was like, I remember seeing the box, and I was like, what the fuck? Look at that box. And then you took it out, and I remember looking at it, and like
one picture, dude. That one picture he took it sold me. I was like,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I gotta have it. I kept every time I see it, I kept saying, I was like, I don't need to get a bunch of 112 scale stuff, but actually it's funny. Cal, I saw in a comment he made earlier, he said, he was like, wait till you start taking pictures of the 1/6 scale. You probably have 100 of them. Now I can't because we got so much coming up, and your boy is paying for this remodel that I'm doing in my house. And it seems like every time I turn around, I am dumping out in excess of money for something. I had a bunch of money saved for it or whatever. And the dude, when I had to pay for that spray foam insulation, I kept thinking about all the Joes I could buy as I'm like handing the dude the cash. I was like, oh my God, I could buy so much shit with this. But no, that was 100% necessary. I'm trying. My kid, this is going to be where my kids, will probably maybe buy another house depending somewhere down the road, depending if the market ever goes back to being anything resembling reasonable.
I'd like to get a place in northern Michigan myself right now.
Dude, how bad are the winters in Michigan do you get out there? Is it any? I mean, it's hard to compare, I guess, if you never lived anywhere else.
Michigan, no, I've been all over the country, dude. There was a stretch, probably 8 years of my life where I went all over, and And on top of that, dude, like every state I went into every badass comic shop. So, like, that was like my thing. If I went to a new state, I'd try and find the best comics. Yeah, boy.
Just real quick. So good. So good. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt the thing.
That's okay, dude. Winters in Michigan. We had a brutal winter this year, dude.
Oh no shit. Yeah, it was the worst winter we've had in upstate New York in a while. I'm pretty sure Orxizio could attest to that. It was definitely the worst one we've had in a hot minute.
Too. I remember seeing the news with you. Wasn't it a day you get like northern New York got shut down because the plow trucks couldn't even clear the snow?
There was places. Now I'm not quite that far upstate, but yeah, there. If you went an hour north of me was in a state of emergency for sure. Yeah, it was bad here though. We had 3 storms where we got over 18 inches. I'm pretty sure. And or maybe one of them was around 18 inches, but yeah, we had multiple storms that were like that. But yeah, I think it was 3. And then 2 of those 3 were followed up in less than a week with another storm of equal size, right? So it was like before the town had, because it's not just about plowing the roads. You then have to manage that snow because it doesn't go to a 10-foot wall up on the sidewalk. That shit has to be put, you got to get it back, baby. That shit's got to go somewhere. Yep. So yeah, you'll see where they'll have, it's a big snow blower, but the chute comes over the back of the plow and goes into, comes off to the side and goes into a dump truck, and it pours all the snow into a dump truck, and then they take that shit somewhere. Call sign smash. I can attest to how bad the winter had for Michigan. Was back there for Christmas, and froze my ass off. That's fun. Cal says 38 inches of snow here. Yeah, dude, we got stupid fucking amounts of snow.
Inches of snow.
Paul says,
love the snow, Cal.
I know. Dave, Paul is asking you, what part of Michigan are you in?
Metro Detroit. I'm in Allen Park.
Oh, nice. Okay, there you go. I have a feeling Paul lives there, or in Michigan. Hold on, we'll see what he says.
Dude, I need a back seater in my Sky Striker. I need a front seater in my Dragonfly.
Nice. For sure. Dude, that Dragonfly, how dope is that fucking Dragonfly? I mean, I know everybody else has had it for X amount of time, but yeah, so one thing that I didn't notice, dude, it's got the Gatling pew pew on the one wing. That is just, I haven't put it on yet, but dude, holy shit, that's freaking ridiculous.
That's actually a heavy repeating cannon. That was what made the Dragonfly special. That thing's awesome.
Oh my God. So now, yeah, the only thing about this Snake Eyes is I have to decide how I want to pose it, right? I'll be sitting here playing with it forever, trying to decide how I want to display it. Well,
what you should do for your first experiment is take this 12-inch figure, pose it, and scale it to where he's coming through a room in your house and erase your hand. That dude, I've done a couple pictures like that, and it looks like Snake Eyes is in my house. It's so cool.
I see what you're saying. You can. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
It's so cool, man.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay.
And then I had Baroness with her hand like this. And,
okay.
Dude, I love my car. I got this 2019 Continental Reserve. It's like the American Bentley, dude. And I'm not spoiled. I saved my ass. And I worked for this because I said I was always going to own the car. So I took Baroness, I put her hand on it, and dude, it looks real. Like the things you can do with these figures with photography is pretty dope. And I am not you. You know what I mean?
Right. You know what? I just realized that I think when I did the promo shot and I redid it, I don't think I put Sister of the Arsenal and Mo's Mind on the promo. Not that that's a huge deal, but that's how my brain works, that I just automatically think of something like that for no reason. I keep trying to find a way to make that upside down sword work. Like
you got different hands too, dude.
Yeah, no, there's a couple different ones. Let me see. Was that the ball? What is that thing right there? I see. Oh, that's pretty cool how that works. Is that But
So they give you a
okay.
couple extra wrist joints because sometimes the ball peg can be tough getting out of the hand. You might want to run it under some water to get the first time out.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Well, it looks like it comes with a part that you can that separates instead of breaking. So I was just
Yeah.
able to kind of snap it back together because that's what happened for a second there. I was moving it, I was trying to rotate it, and I brought it to an extreme. But dude, oh my God, yeah. So this is just a testament to excellence and how good they can make whatever it is that is being made. It's just a matter of what they want to charge, what they want to spend, and how they want to charge you for it. So I don't know, man. I think it's absolute. Oh, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. Somewhere right like that. Boom.
That's yes.
Something like that. Yeah. All right.
So realistically, like,
Oh shit.
I mean, that figure that you're holding in your hand now, that's what 5, 6, like 7 classified figures on the high end. That's like maybe 6 classified figures.
Yeah, for sure.
And dude, I'm the kid that wrote to Hasbro 4 times for parts. I love Hasbro as a company, but I don't feel that I'm being treated right. Like like I went on and Amazon and I bought this thing. It's an acid rain mech, right? And I'm a huge mech fan. When I was a kid, the other 5%,
same. Like Robotech. I didn't have any of it, but looking at it, like Robotech, or they actually those detailed booklets that they had on Metal Gear and shit. Yeah. Oh, 100%. That cartoon was crazy.
In the early 80s, like when Joe hit, I was playing BattleTech and all the game cons and all the like the circuit tournaments and stuff like that. I was a diehard BattleTech player until 86 when we moved. I was doing all the tournaments and all that stuff. Like, dude, it was a really cool time. But like, for example, here's this thing from Joy Toy, right? And it has an entire now it's 1/18th. It has an entire metal skeleton with all articulated joints. All of these, every single colored piece of armor you see can either move or be removed. And then it's still a mech with a 1/18th figure in it that is still blowing the shit out of anything Joe makes right now.
Right.
I got this shipped to my house for $80, dude.
No shit. Huh.
So when you see guys like Bobby talking about I hate KOs, I hate the ideas of them, but then Bobby just made a video saying, you know what, dude? As much as I hate the IP stuff, the fucking quality is amazing. And you got to admit it because you got a third-party company like Joy Toy with no licensing or anything like that overseas. I guess there could be like what? I don't know, cooties in the paint. Who knows? But $80.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, for sure. That is the thing. Actually, I had to stop and convict. So, like, I usually don't let any of my customers buy their parts, but I knew some people that were buying stuff from like China that was coming directly from there, like faucets and parts for their water. And I was like, yo, you don't know how much lead is in here. Like, it's probably lead with a bronze casting or something like that. Like, it. Do not do that.
Where I ordered kind of like a rare Transformers RC model kit from AliExpress. And, it took 2 months or whatever. By the time I got it, the box looked weird. It was still in the cellophane, but something didn't look right. And I smelled it, and it smelled like a donkey's ass.
Right.
Okay. So I opened the cellophane and I looked in the box, and you know how like all the model bags are actually like they're individually wrapped, but they have holes.
Yes.
In them. Every bag was covered in seawater and mold.
Oh.
So like, I legit looked at and I got this like shortly after COVID. I looked at this like, oh man, they got me.
They got you. God damn it.
Venom got me.
Right.
You didn't even need a snake in a basket. A transformer in a box got me. You know what I mean?
Right. That's fun. So Paul Morales says he lives in Holland, and then Call Sign Smash says he where'd it go? Lives. Oh man, where'd it go? I missed it. Yeah. So Holland. I don't know if that's near you, and Call Sign Smash lives somewhere around Grand Rapids. I can't find the whatchamacallit.
Well, if you're in Grand Rapids and you've been there for a while, do you remember Mr. Fable's Burgers? Best burgers, dude. Oh, yeah, good stuff.
Joy Kalal says Joy Toys Warhammer is off the hook. Well, Joy Toy they make it. They make a good they make a good transformer too, don't they? I believe so Cal from Figure Fight Club that was on, I believe is a loves his Transformers, and I think he said Joy Toy was like one of his favorite companies that makes them right now.
He said I think X Transbots or Make Toys. He there's a certain third party Joy Toy don't do Transformers.
Okay.
So now, dude, I'm a Transformers fan, and Hasbro is killing themselves with the Transformers brand. They've taken $10 figures that are now $27. And yes, dude, not long ago, we were buying deluxe Transformers for $10, dude. And,
that's nuts.
And now they're $27 with no noticeable increase in weight it's not that big of a deal, and all of their prices are going up. Oh, that's sexy, dude.
And so awesome.
So by the time, if you wanted a leader Megatron in Transformers now, their leader class is this big, right? And I can get a KO. I can get this KO Dark of the Moon Megatron shipped to my house for $110. And it's got soft goods. This Megatron right here, it looks exactly like the movie, and not only that, it transforms into the truck from the movie that's this long, dude. I would
no shit,
but it takes me 45 minutes to transform it, and I'm good. I'm green.
Oh yeah, no, it's okay.
I gave that to you with instructions. You throw it back at me and say,
no.
You know what I mean?
No, I've heard that about a lot of them, a lot of different Transformers where people are saying they're like, I have it, but I almost refuse to try to transform it or whatever, yeah. Which I mean,
you're like that, but one thing, my other Hasbro love, dude, if I were to pick one line to continue, no matter what, dude. Transformer crossover GI Joes, dude.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Ever since I was a kid, all I wanted was good transforming GI Joe vehicles, and Megatron's pretty good. Bumblebee's okay. Soundwave's dope, but Cup is where they figured it out, and that one is badass because they took the Triple T and they retconned it with a new feature. And,
okay.
Remember when Fogarty was talking about the Triple T stupid, it don't do anything. He's right. It was just a tractor. But now the new Transformer, actually the bottom folds down and it's got these computer panels and stuff like that for operationals. Dude, that's dope. That is. Somebody put thought into that. I like that.
That's what's up. Well, brother, thank you again so much. This is I'm absolutely in love with it, and I definitely am going to have fun taking some pictures. And what is cool is I only have one of these, so I don't have to worry about setting something up on a multi-figure shot. I'm just this guy. I think if I did something, I could do just a small three-wall thing that will just have some color to it. He's got that urban commando kind of feel, which in my head, that's what he is. The version 4 for classified. He's part of Strike Team Fangbuster. I'm going to alter the uniform in some way. But no, when I see this, I think I can make some so like a old kind of like a burnt out abandoned building that's in a war zone perhaps, or even a war torn or not war torn, but like a rundown city in America where some cobras may be dwelling. But I can kind of maybe put just a little bit of right lighting in it because it'll deserve to just kind of stand in its own little area. Dude, just figure this is amazing.
And like one thing I've been doing with especially the 12-inch Fig Zeros is I will not buy or open another one until I have completely exhausted the last one and explored it and checked it out and posed it. And then once I've learned that figure, then it's like, all right, which one am I going to eye now? And I don't buy these like once a month dude. No, I got 4 now. And like as soon as they drop a Major Blood, I'm all over that because that's my dog, dude.
Yeah,
I think Major Blood is probably the most realistic character in G.I. Joe because I actually know a Major Blood. I actually came across one time. You know what I mean? I know he's out there. But yeah, dude. Destro, Mike, thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate you having me on. It was really fun. You have a big week coming up, so let's end this, dude. And enjoy your snake eyes, save your throat, and let's do it again.
For sure. Sorry, I tried to sneak a piece of jerky.
That did not sound like what it said. What you thought it did.
I'm gonna show off a couple things real quick. You're welcome to hang out.
Dude. Oh, I'm here, dude. I ain't going nowhere.
No, for sure. Let's see. First off, my brother R.A. Rain in the house. Let's see. Hold on one second. Parts of my dragonfly.
Look, I have not. When I went to order on Amazon, it disappeared. I got to go. Man, I want that.
So yeah, unfortunately,
I want that on principle. I don't. Even, I don't even care what's in it. I want it on principle.
So here's the thing: I can get one from him, so I will have that sent to you, 100%. Now, if you're,
I want to pay for it.
No, dude, it's incredibly inexpensive. So he also has a Dreadnought script that's written, and this is for sure it's a vampire book, and not I was kind of mostly just like, oh, I want to support dude. He's a good writer. Fuck it. It can't be bad. And even though vampires aren't necessarily my thing, it's a good book. So I've only read, where am I? Am I at page 94? And I will finish it for sure. But this is pretty good too. And it's an awesome cover, right? Really, really cool. Sure. So yeah, no, he's got, he has some copies, and he's gonna, he's able to get rid of them through his website. But the issue is there was something with Barnes and Noble and a hang up, like so until he gets that squared away, but he's, if anybody is interested, you can definitely go to I think it's ra.com, or
you have 5 more minutes for me to say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So like I've been trying to show people what I do in VR, okay? And it's not for everybody. I understand that. But VR is the future, okay? I can tell you that because I know I know, and the reasons I won't say on a recorded platform. But in the same sense, like if they want to charge me $110 for Destro and a Despoiler, you know what would sweeten the deal? Give me an NFT of the Destro and Despoiler plans, okay? A numbered NFT that's trackable. I don't care. Because then, just like the 80s, when I bought LL Cool J, or I bought NWA, or I bought 1984, it said right on there, you can make as many copies of this as you want as long as it's not for public gain. So
right.
If Hasbro is not in the market of selling toys anymore. I don't believe that. If they offered, for example, an NFT with the CAD files of Destro and the toy. Me is what I do. I'm not going to go to the 3D printer. I'm going to put that into my VR software, and I'm going to invite you to come over and play on the deck of the USS Flag. And then I can see Conrad fly by in a Sky Striker because he's got that NFT. You know what I'm saying? Because these are the actual printed files, and you would be in it. Remember those commercials where they shrunk the kids down? Oh, I'm on the USS Flag. That's what I'm doing in VR, dude. That is legit what I'm doing in VR.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I thought it looked really cool.
So if Hasbro wants to add value to their product, $109 Destro, where fans are complaining, why not just dump the CAD files, dude? Everybody's got them anyway.
Right.
Okay? Everybody's got them anyway. Dude, at Hasbro, if you don't think people have your stuff, you're kidding yourself. Give me an NFT and say, this numbered NFT, you can do whatever you want with. You paid for it. I can put it in my VR game. I could print a copy for myself on my 3D printer. I could make a movie with it. I could do whatever I want with it because I paid for that. And I'm not making money out of it.
Right. Yeah. No shit. But
that does go against everything collectors love. Collectors love the touch, right? Collectors love the touch and feel of the nostalgia. What I really love is the immersion. I want to know what it's like to be on the bridge with Keelhaul. I want to follow Snake Eyes through the tunnels of Cobra Island on a crazy mission to assassinate Serpentor or something. I'm sorry I said that, but like these are all the things that are absolutely possible with what I'm doing now, and put you in the seat, not only in the seat, but the eyes of your favorite Joe. Yeah, dude, these are cool times, man.
For sure.
On the flip side, I feel like an absolute dinosaur.
I mean, yes and no. I did every once in a while. I do, like, I'll turn on the TV, and the other day that they were talking, there was somebody saying a whole bunch of these names, and I was like, what are they talking about? And they were talking about like the top 40 hits. Like, of course, there's still a handful that that sounded kind of familiar, but
I wouldn't have.
I didn't realize where did I go from. Even though, like, let's put it this way, most of the music, almost all of the music I listen to has never been on the radio, right? Whether it's metal, but also even a lot of underground hip hop that is not, like, I like Wu-Tang and all of that as well. But there's a lot of stuff that maybe like Vinny Paz, the groups that he has, Ill Bill, like those kind of guys that are awesome. But it's like, it's extreme music nonetheless. But yeah, I feel like there's a market for it for sure. But let me real quick, where'd it go? There it is. So everybody has seen it, but I just want to talk about it, and that's the Oracle.
Dude.
Yeah, it's an incredible invention. I think that the idea to have something like this for toy photography is amazing. Because look at that. Now everybody has seen the photos, that video that I did where it was like 4 or 5 different shots, where you got to see different figures standing in front of it, where I used different colors, different slides. That's just to give you an idea of the endless combinations of shit that you can use. And what I like about it best is that this light is of a certain color where you can use it in a photo shot that it lights up an area. And if you use different white light in the back, it's such a crazy, awesome tool for toy photography, because every command center or every, you can't have Dr. Mindbetter's lab without having this, right? Without having this thing and then having this in there. All right. Where it's like the experiment, you got to have it.
I've got my back with my Battle Armor Commander and Mindbender, and that's just from comics. You know what I mean? That's where they go. I really want a Fred. I really want a Pogo, man. to me, the Pogo was one of the dopest latest vehicles they came out with. I love the Pogo.
A Pogo would be cool. I saw one 3D printed classified scale from the dude that is local, and it was actually even cooler than I anticipated. So as always, there's a lot of detail and design. Matt really goes hard on just about everything he makes, and it's always awesome. Now I'm using the power tab, but boop, you put that together. Now it's covered, and then what he has is boop, 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 boop. It comes with this. Now I can't find it, Matt. When I'm going to have to acquiesce from you. I think that's not the right word. Acquire from you. There's something that goes in here that's a transmitter that works with this remote. I don't know what the hell I did with it. I remember at first I thought it was a plug for something else, and I thought this just boop boop boop. Nope, you have to put the transceiver in there, and then this will work. Now you also have a ton of options that you can do with changing the colors and doing all kinds of stuff with this when you have the remote. Plus, if you have it set up and you put all the figures in front of it, and you're like, man, I think I like the blue better. You can't move the figures because now you got to do, you know what I'm saying, to get back to where the button is. So that's why having that is so key. So, and then like I showed, there is 3 different screens. So that is obviously the bat. Now, one thing that if you haven't seen this in person, the detail on like the etching is so much more fine than how it's even translating through the screen. When I get it a little closer, maybe that looks a little better.
Etched?
It's laser etched.
Okay.
Yep. Super dope. What an I remember when he told me about it before I saw it, and I was like, oh man, if that works how we, you think that's gonna be amazing. So I love this one mostly because it's hard for me to put it up in the here. There we go. Maybe that's a little easier to. Nope, not at all. That made it worse.
You guys, is that Serpentor in a Simulacrum tank?
It's not Serpentor. There we go. It's just a general. It looks almost just like, to me. I mean, I think it's supposed to be generic, so it could be anybody. But I was envisioning Serpentor. Yeah. That's what I did the shoot on. To me, it when I first saw it, it reminds me of Wolverine as Weapon X, where he was in that tank,
man, dude.
And they had it all hooked up. You've got, this is like, you can't tell what that is. There's a rib cage, and then there's like an arm bone. Here's a brain, and then just like a heartbeat monitor. So it's perfect. And then last but not least is the tactical slide.
I like that, dude. I'd have Hawk and all the guys around that, dude.
That was.
Yep. And there's even assets at the bottom. I like that.
Yep.
Dude.
Oh yeah, no, this is legit, and it's you really can't go wrong. It reminds me of like as a kid doing Battleship and shit like that. So it's a must have. I think the cost is on the money, and you really 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 can't go wrong. But speaking of being on the money. Everybody really needs to watch out for what's going to be dropping. So I'm pretty sure I'll have it's going to be in hand this week. I'm pretty sure he mailed it out, which means I'll have it like, it's a back to tank. Riptide says that looks awesome. Mo says it's just a power cord, but just batteries in the remote and you're good. Oh, nice. Oh, okay. Then I was confused, brother. My bad. I thought that was something else. Totally. I thought I'm such an idiot. My bad, Matt. All right. Yes, good. That is for the power cord. So I'll put some batteries in the remote and we'll be good. I'll have to get that for the next stream. Also, from hold on. Let me just move I opened my slice and dice. So I've had them sitting over here for a while. They're freaking amazing.
Dude, I really want to find a $20 set, but I don't think I will.
Yeah, they're out there. They're not. Well, when that Twilight card popped up, it was like, and it kind of happened where some people had them and then it like stopped suddenly and then it came back. So hopefully the same thing is happening with the slice and dice because it seemed like they moved on. Real quick. Boop, 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 boop. Hold on a sec. Getting it in here. So what we got here is, as I always tout, as the best bang for your buck.
I want that so bad. And the night landing.
Yes.
I love that.
So This is a gridiron weapon that I have on here because I broke the piece. I did. That stuff is damn near unbreakable. But so just to give you the idea, look how good that matches. So look at just the detail on every panel, right? This is the modular setup, of course, where boop, let me pull that off. So like back here, I've got the, the arc cannon can get on there. I don't know if I could pick it up with one hand, but then so this.
I like the walls he does too, dude.
There's just so much detail. I remember. So this is the first thing I saw when I came across his page on Etsy. I saw this thing. I was like, wait, what the fuck is that? And I was looking at it. I saw the price. Immediately bowled over. Immediately was like, this is must-have shit. And backpack rack. So hold on, show that off right there.
Is dope. I didn't know.
And there's that. Nice shelf. Yeah, dude, you can put a bunch of backpacks in there. It's fantastic. Look at how
I'll order that.
The green is a crazy cool match, but dude, the best part is when you have it set up, you can put like snipers and stuff up here. Like I have this sandbag set from Amazon. It was only like $20, but I got a ton of them, and so I lined the whole front of it with sandbags.
The fabric ones, dude, the $20 fabric and sandbags.
They're definitely fabric. I think it might be 25 actually. They're fabric and they've got lettering on it too, and they're amazing. They're amazing. So all this stuff is.
I actually thought about making an outpost defender out of toothpicks and then staining it and weathering it and then using those sandbags around it, dude. That's so good.
And actually, I always kind of forget to show this. You get a ladder that can be on either side, depending on how you're set up. But look at how good that looks with the gridiron. The one that it comes with is this absolute beast, Mob Juice Beast. Jesus, if I drop it and everything. Like I said, I took the thing out and dropped it myself and it broke, but it is gorgeous. It's perfectly sized for a big ass roadblock. But this is where it's at, y'all. This is you cannot get anything for this amount of money that is going to change your game for toy photography. But it's also, if you look at how deep it is, you can this will fit on most shelves. So even if you have a smaller than normal shelf, that thing right there it's gonna thrive on there. It's really, really an unbelievable piece.
I really like that cat's night landing, dude. His night landing is near flawless, dude. You've got his night landing, dude. Go ahead, Cal Alamy. Go ahead. Thanks, bro.
It's pretty sweet. This
badass. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That is so cool.
The floor
night landing was one of my all-time favorites, dude. And
a lot of detail on the floor.
When I think of G.I. Joe Shark and night landing and water toys, I think of how much DNA I put on my toys as a kid.
Yeah.
I mean? It's like, because I played with my night landing and all that, and the hovercraft in the bathtub, dude. Oh
yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. This I like this multi-part. So there's a short one, a long one.
There's basic common sense going on there that I see in that design that I like. Okay, he's doing common sense stuff that I like. Yeah,
the soft good rope. This is amazing.
He didn't mold that in, dude. He knew that I wanted that.
You know that you want it to be loose. So the first one I got was the green Joe version, which, dude, in the Joe colors just looks amazing. Like you beachhead on there with Stalker and the boys, and he's just ready to go. But like you said, this night landing blue is great. But right up here, right, or up in the front, when a figure grabs, there is just enough slack where you can see that it's being pulled, but it doesn't go too far. It's the perfect amount. It's really
not only that, dude. Not only that, using that rope as a tie-off and showing the troops walking away. That's a powerful shot as it is. You know what I mean?
It's unreal. It's unreal. And of course,
have you seen this Marvel Legends, Mike? Have you seen
which one?
Have you seen this?
Which one you got there?
The new Blade Marvel Legends, dude. Okay, so check this out. Not only does it have this fantastic butterfly joint, it has up and down butterfly joint.
Okay.
Look at that. Talking about a Marvel Legend, which to me is bottom of the barrel of articulation, and they got this new X-23 figure that's articulation actually blows Joe's out of the water. I'm a little bit kind of miffed about it. Like, because I don't want, I'm not saying that like I want G.I. Joe better than Marvel Legends. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a Marvel Legends guy. I buy the ones I like. You know what I mean? Wesley Snipes, dude. I mean, as Blade, yeah, I bought him. Was I afraid I was going to get charged a big tax bill for having him? Maybe, but you know, it is what it is. You know,
right.
But like they're doing stuff, innovating with Marvel Legends, and I see zero innovation on the GI Joe side. Okay, dude,
yeah, for sure.
We can talk functionality all night, but when you get to the bottom, dude, that All Striker has serious, basic design mechanical problems that should have never been overlooked. Right?
For sure.
Never should those things have been overlooked. And we grew up in an age where you flip the box and it said, or the figure, it said snap on, stay on accessories. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. I think your wife is giving you the thumbs up in the chat, brother. Is Angela her name?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's giving you the thumbs up in the chat. That's nice.
That's my girl. I love you, Ann.
So
she tried to get my attention the other day. She played with GPT and dressed herself up like Baroness, dude. It was tight.
Nice. Well, it's good for the marriage. So what you see here?
Stop! You're Kal-El'ing me.
This is one of the dude. I feel like this is
dope, dude.
It's the most ridiculous thing I own, and I love it. You know, the Hiss has that nostalgia with the fire team and everything, but I don't know, man. I remember the first time I saw the front of this, it just blew my fucking mind. And like when you have such innovation for toy photography like this, where boom, you can take this down and you can put so you can get full access.
I see full access. Open. I didn't know it tilted.
No, so you can get your shit all set. Then go like this, and then take your toy photography, whether it's through those doors or it's, you know, coming through this port right here. So I've got a shot coming up that I've been waiting to do, and I just have to stop fucking around and do it. So if you look at right here, boom, you got this.
Ooh, you got a pass through?
It's on the back. It's crazy. So I want a shot looking through the front, camera shooting in through this way to see somebody opening the door, walking in, and then also doing it from the outside. So why I got this off? Oh God, you know what? I don't have
man. You're Kal-El'ing me, bro.
So there's usually a pair of M249s here. I took them off because I was doing something. Right. So real quick, just because it's unbelievable. Hold on, let me do this real quick. I think it's this way. Is it this way? It's this way.
I got a video of me doing a 249 and a 3-gun one time.
Wait, awesome. Hold on. That's got to be the way, right? I think it's this way. Oh, yeah. Hold on. I'm such an idiot. I'm probably missing it completely. There we go. All right. So now I can take 3. Hold on. I'm probably going to make a disaster. 1, 2. And then, oh, no, it's all falling. Oh, hell. Oh, I made a mess.
Shelf event. Stage 2 event. Oh, you saved it. That's dope.
All 3.
That's cool.
So that's a lot. I mean,
let me ask you, where's the engine at on that Atlas?
I think it's on the bottom. That shit is underneath.
Okay, so he did account for engine?
I can't say for sure, but yeah, I think I know that it's like there's a bunch of space down there. All right here is like on the side of the hold on, like that, and then there's like a drive train thing. There's a little
that box right there. I could argue that that's a diesel electric, and you've got electric power packs for the wheels. I could make that argument. So
right.
He's made that. I'm good with that. So technically, that thing could move and be something.
Right.
I don't
for
like
sure.
when they design a vehicle that has no room for potential power plant. From like that's cheating a kid of of knowledge. Like that's cheating a kid of like curiosity.
Well,
all of our GI Joe toys, you could open up and see the engine. Some of them you could pull the engine out. You know,
for sure. I feel like too you're doing the design a disservice because it's everything that your mind, like everything a person's mind is used to seeing is going to have engine space. You know what I mean? So if there's something where it's like devoid altogether, you might not even be able to put your fucking finger on it. You might just be like, oh, that doesn't look right to me because you may not know why, but the reason it's because there's no cabinet in the front.
Here's a perfect example. I know that you said you like the Havoc, right?
I do. Okay.
As a kid, I absolutely hated the Havoc. Okay. I thought it was one of the dumbest vehicles G.I. Joe ever made. But when I started building tactical and armored vehicles and real G.I. Joe shit, I looked at the Havoc completely different. Now, when I see the Havoc, I do not see a frontline fighter. Okay. You've got a polycarbonate canopy, which pretty much anything's going to really bust through. Okay. On the ground. So this thing is not designed for frontline combat. We've got cross country on the front, which is basically a frag magnet. Anybody, dude, he's going to get shredded. Now, follow me here. So you've got your Havoc, and we know that it has a removable engine compartment in the middle of the vehicle. It has an engine. So that Havoc is a platform just like a diesel electric train. And those treads on the bottom are electric power packs on each tread. Now, if you picture cross country with a platoon of Havocs, 3 other Havocs, and they're on the defilade of a hill, and he's got his gun that can elevate, I'm going to sit and the recon sled, we've got Jetson 1. You cannot discount that recon sled now. So you've got your recon sled out. He comes out, and he can actually point at a target, push a button, and it sends a GPS configuration coordinate back to the Havoc. The Havoc recognizes those GPS coordinates and lobs those rounds over. Because if you look at the Havoc,
right,
those are not high velocity guns. Those are low velocity, basically grenades.
Yeah,
Stats on the Havoc's blueprints. They are not high velocity battleship guns. They're basically Mark 19s, but bigger caliber. So you've got this guy that's sitting here with 2 mortars now. And with those treads, electric treads, being able to finally position to the half degree, being able to move that vehicle or counter battery fire, look out, turn your treads 90 degrees and shift your entire artillery division 100 meters to the right.
Right, which is amazing.
Yeah, I looked at some of the stuff as a kid and I was like, that's dumb. But then after I learned military tactics and built the shit, I can talk into pretty much like a reality basis on pretty much any vehicle. I think I said this before, except for the Rat. I got nothing on the Rat. I got nothing.
Well, listen, we're just gonna rip through a little bit more of this, and we are gonna get out of here. Riptide. It's not the talking. It's my allergies. So this time of year, it's brutal. Like, it didn't help that I had a game earlier, and I did take. I usually take. It's a Sudafed pressure and pain for my sinuses, and then I take a bunch of Advil. But what happens too is this time of year that it just like erupts, sometimes I have to cough my fucking ass off too, which in combination with it, it's the worst. So it's not that I'm losing my voice; it's I'm having these fucking allergic reaction, and it just makes me nuts. So that was the Atlas. I got mine in these neutral colors. So I could use it for either Joe or Cobra. I love this muted gray and black. There's just a mountain of amazing choices on this thing, and I absolutely love it. I've had it for many months, and there isn't anything that I have that like it still continues to offer new angles, new things. There's so much detail in so many different places, including the tires. No, it's fantastic, and and anybody, when you get up to the price point that something like this is in, it is truly an investment. And I would not tell you, to spend that kind of money, especially in the economy that we have.
Right?
It's I think yeah, I think, and then you have there's tire options, and but it is 100% where if you're in the market for something of that size, something along those lines, you will not be disappointed whatsoever.
If it's close to Sys 3 quality, then I'm
proud of no, it's no. They're very equal in that's why I like to talk about both of them, because I think they're both absolutely fantastic. No, so you can what's that?
Where'd that one come from? Is that Moe's?
Oh yeah, this is the Atlas, the Oracle, the Outpost, and the bar, and all of this other stuff that I was showing. That is all from Moe's Mind. You can find him over on Etsy. I have links to his stuff. Like
shop, dude. I drooled over the shop. Like I'm going through Twitter right now, and I am literally check marking off everybody that sells stuff, and I'm ordering from everybody because I want to keep the business within our group. So like it's just a matter of me checking off like who I order from next. If you have I don't know, whoever on next week, I'll probably order something from them just because it's good for everybody, right?
No, I appreciate it for sure. But yeah, you want to go over to Etsy.
It's like you're doing something good by bringing those people in, bringing awareness. You give a discount. We're all sitting here. We're having a good time. Most of the time, I'm in the chat. Dude, I'm chatting so much, you don't even say my stuff. You know what I mean? I'm there talking with the crew and stuff like they are now. And, dude, it's a good show. Destro, Mike, thanks for having me. I really do appreciate it. And all you cats that came out today to watch this, man, I love you guys. I really do love this community.
For sure. We're almost there. We are so close. So you can find Moe's Mind on Etsy. Make sure you're using Destro Designs 10 to get your 10% off. Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Off?
That's 10%. We'll get you $35 off of that. Yeah, that's the one. So it's a good deal. And again, like it is as far, Matt had said something one time, and that I think it kind of resonates with the quality that he is putting in everything, is that he had said that he knows he has to earn that spot on the shelf. And that's in reference to, the size of it, plus also the investment that is made. And I wouldn't recommend something of that. Yeah, dude, it's amazing.
Statement for somebody that makes something to say that to honestly say, I have to earn space on your shelf, dude. Because I'm the same way, dude.
For sure.
Nobody. And that guy to say, I want to earn space on your shelf.
It's really great. It's really great. So remember, Destro Designs 10 for his shop on Etsy. And then I'm just going to switch gears real quick to talk about Sys 3D Arsenal. He's been dropping an insane amount of stuff. Unfortunately, I don't have the thing set up to show it. The stuff that he's dropping currently are the laptops that you open it up and it's a laptop. And they're hinged. If you open it up, he has the chemical cases, the tactical planners. It's a whole new series of stuff. He has been dropping heat like every week for a minute, going all the way back to with one of my favorite things. So when Short Fuse came out, he did not have
that so bad, dude. I need dude. Mortar Soldier's my dog, dude. The squad operates around the mortar, dude.
It's a must-have. Hold on, let me get one of these out of here. So there's not 9 of these individual tubes. They each have a handle. They each have a case. You open up, you take the top off, and then you have a highly detailed, accurate color and design mortar. So I can't think off the top of my head. I think this thing is 18. Is that what it is? With all the stuff in it? Honestly, I shouldn't say that because I can't remember. But that is, was a new concept for his design.
I get off tonight. I've been looking at that too long. I want that.
So, and dude, it's when you set it up next to the mortar, you have, what I had 2 of these guys carrying it. One guy was holding.
Yeah,
carrying it.
Now that's the thing that I, as a kid, looked at the 82 team and I realized as a 7-year-old that Short Fuse is doing one man's job on a crew support equipment, on a crew support pew. Rock and Roll, he is doing a one-man job on a crew served pew. Okay. Zap, one-man job on a crew served pew. These are all hotel equipment.
Yeah. Right.
And that was the thing, is like when we seen like you've got one dude doing this job, he is literally the best of the best.
For sure. So yeah, that's a quality piece. You want to grab that. This is another awesome one. Even just back as in a display is great for what it is, but there's
it's got the penetrator rounds.
Yep. So that comes off right there. That's got a small space where you could store other. Oops, shit. Hold on. That's not the right one. Hold on.
APFS idea round in there. Yeah, the discarding Sabo round. That right there, dude. Do you know how that works in real life?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen the thing how it projects the rod through. It's insane. It's awesome though. I can't remember what the hell I was watching, but it was like a 45-minute thing on different types of penetrator rounds, and that was one of them. But yeah, that color is also accurate to something. Yeah,
from what I'm looking at.
It is. It looks amazing. And then, so also, I just got this one here. This is the mechanic set. This is going to go in with, I have the Awe Striker, the amp, and the Firefly. There's going to be a shoot for this coming up soon. Also, I do have a link I can give for, I just dumped all these toys out there, but there are little tools.
You take better care of your tools than that. Come on, Mike.
Yeah, I know. I'm just throwing shit a little bit. Well, the sets are really cheap. They're like $2.99. There was two different kinds. There was some with the red handle, some with the black handle, and then they had what looked like a machinist set, and then there was also they had a bunch of shit. I don't know where the other package. Oh, I think it's in the blue one it's over there. But anyway, that's from Amazon.
Wait, no, so what? He got a lathe, a Bridgeport, or a CNC mill, or what?
Yeah. No. That's those. The toys are. I'm not. I keep saying the toys. The tools are from Amazon. I have no idea where those go.
Yeah. No. Making GI Joe Bridgeports.
No. Oh no. That would be fucking awesome.
Dude,
no.
Me and you would be making dios of us building stuff in our garage.
Which would be cool. Which would definitely be cool. But the best part is you can have this as like a rolling workstation. You can put this on a desk, so you don't have to order that, or you can get them together, and it goes like that. So that's awesome,
right?
Yeah. No. We're on Sister D Arsenal now. Okay. Right. So one of the new things that he's got too is a whole series of these. You can get the different. Yeah, it's just got a lot of little details like this curve, so the feet, they can stand right up against it without their feet hitting. Just a little bit of curvature. It's amazing, and it's incredibly inexpensive too, which is what I like about it. And it's a little clip, so you can you can get all different kinds of tablets and phones and stuff that you could pop up on there that Cobra Commander would want to help him with. You can have.
My buddy's been working on one, but how would that work behind that podium right there, Mike?
What's that?
Still working on this.
Oh, nice. Okay, there you go.
I
don't have my glasses on. I can't see. Where did my glasses go? Jesus Christ! I'm sorry to ruin the moment.
No,
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what I do with my glasses.
Get closer. I'm doing an Anchor Viper custom.
Oh, nice. Okay, there you go. That looks good.
I'll get that podium and I'll send that out to TV Cobra, dude. Because I'm telling you what, those cats that are groundbreaking and pioneering what they're doing at TV Cobra.
Absolutely.
All I want to do is support them. All I want to do is support them because that is some of the coolest idea I have seen any fans do. They are all in. Dude, I got the Time Life thing. Dude, tune into TV Cobra. I'm all in, dude. Anchor Viper, Tex Thompson, TV Cobra. You guys should seriously be signing up for that because I honestly think that like 20 years from now, when there's another Joe Renaissance, that people are going to look at this TV Cobra stuff and be like, look what these crazy sons of bitches did back then.
Right, for sure. Listen, brother, my headset's starting to die, so I just got to get through the rest of this. So, again, Podium is dope, and for sure, tune in to TV Cobra. I didn't want to just jump away from that. They are doing something amazing. They all know how I feel. I've waxed poetic quite a few times. They are some incredibly I almost said chaotic, incredibly creative people. Incredibly creative people, no, for sure, and they're awesome. So, yeah, so you can get real world building stuff like this. You can get chemical barrels that are
that white plug is legit right there, dude. I told him, I was like, you did it right with that white plug because I got the tool to pull them out.
Which is, so if you're trying to get something set up in a civilian aspect of things, which I think is important when you're trying to tell a story, sometimes there's going to be things. So, when you start adding stuff like this, he also has the kit where I don't know what I did with the flip. Okay. So you can get, I don't remember the numbers, but I think it's two ballards, 2 cones, and a clipboard, I think is what one of the sets is. So the cones are legit with the black base and the the striping makes it look a little more legit. You stack a few of them together and it looks like just something from gym class. You know what I'm saying? I think it looks great like that. Now these may seem like just simple, but trust me,
that's pretty cool.
When you start popping these up around, you're like, oh, I didn't know I needed that until I see it. And now there's so many aspects of what I'm doing that we can't have it. Like, especially like when I'm talking about, setting it up for the mechanic shop for the Ostrich, the Vamp, and the Firefly. We'll have this out, or the Dragonfly. You have this out there, but then you're gonna want to have these. Maybe somewhere so they don't.
You could go on Amazon and you could get white or black chain to connect those bollards, and it would look absolutely real.
It would. So it comes in the details of like the little bolts. I don't know if you can see it, but each corner.
You know how many of those I've installed in Amazon?
Oh yeah, dude, everywhere. That's it. Ballads. I'm sure are fucking keys. So actually, the clipboard. Again, it's
like that, dude.
It doesn't matter how simple it is. If it's done really well, it looks awesome. So like just for scale purposes, see how we got that sitting on there? Just looks perfect. Looks absolutely perfect. And then real quick, just to jump back to maybe the military stuff. So hey, his mission crates are the staple. He's now does the legacy crates, which I think look more like a traditional wood crate. And I think that these are fucking incredible.
No, that is a representation of the Cobra Rifle Range rifle crate.
Yeah, right. It does look a lot like that. It's very similar. But here, I saved this for last because we are both big fans of Major Blood, and this is the Major Blood mission crate. So there's so much cool shit in this thing. So the backpack, nice little angle, stores good. The rockets that Chris somehow managed to make something where the rockets actually stay in. They actually stay in. So now because there's always something awesome. You see he's got his two pew-pews there. If you lift this up and look down in there is the man's helmet. And it also comes with, hold on. I think I tipped it and they fell out a little bit. But it also comes with 3 of these. I don't think they're incendiaries. I think they almost look like smoke grenades.
You're trying to get me to buy another one, aren't you? Last time you bought that blood crate, I'm just waiting on it.
Oh, nice. Oh, okay. There you go.
You showed me the sampler crate, and I jumped on there.
Dude, it's so good.
It's cool.
It is jump worthy for sure. Dude, so if you
so Sith 3 Arsenal is making correct stuff. That's what I want. And it doesn't take much for Hasbro to do this.
It doesn't.
Like
you just need pay guy.
In the G.I. Joe line was that ammo box. And I would push it out the back of my Tomahawk with my parachutes on it. That ammo box got dragged, hauled, hooked everywhere.
That's good fun. That's good fun. For sure.
I want him to make the G.I. Joe wood ammo box with the wood strings. Oh, I love that, dude. I love it.
I will float that out his way. I think I missed people. Cal, have a good night. He left he left a minute ago. Nice. Lieutenant Lyris is nice. That's my jam. I'm a diesel mechanic. Well, that's what's up. I love it. So I was waiting on this and said that once this happens, I'm going to do this 788 photo shoot that I've been talking about for a very long time, and now it's just a matter of finding the time. So this is it. Now also, make sure you can find Sis 3D Arsenal on just about every social media platform, or I think not almost on every social media platform. I just saw him on TikTok the other day. So yeah, it's every social media platform, but you can get from his website, sis3darsenal.com, which is a gorgeous website. He's also still on Etsy. So if you have that premium Etsy where you get free shipping, maybe you still want to order it from there to get the free shipping, whatever works. But it's Chris is again just as I always talk so highly of Matt. Chris is also an incredible maker and a really solid guy. So you're not just supporting, not only do you get quality stuff, you are supporting good people. Now, especially Matt. Matt this is what he does full time. So you are for sure. And I know, and Chris puts an incredible amount of time. I'm not positive if Chris does it full time or not, but all the time I should say.
AC round, and I looked at that penetrator round. I've held both of those rounds in my hand, and I got to tell you, he did a damn good job on those. Man.
Nice. I love it. Yeah, I remember he and I were talking one day, and it was when he sent me all of that stuff. I thought I have another missile thing with a bunch of missiles. But anyway, he was telling me about the cut with the not just the design, but he's like, yeah, no, the colors too. There's precedent for all of the colors that it's like you're saying that blue shiny steel or it just so happens so with the Joes when you're looking at this mortar round, apparently the green with that yellow stripe has a precedent, right? Because he does a bunch of incendiary grenades that come with this kind of stuff, and they're all the colors are all accurate. Oh, there was one other thing that was right here. Oh, so I don't even know if this is on the website yet, but it's another kind of an open top concept that he has.
Right.
Yeah, just something that you can kind of. Yep, you just throw that right on the floor of the outpost, right? So they could just pick up and throw. And these they just even though it's one little paint detail, but having that ring capped like that, I don't know, man. I just think it's fucking awesome. So I love representing the boys.
And that's the thing is I have no problem when I'm on on a podcast and one of these entrepreneurs come in and show me their product that's cool. I would much rather throw money at them than buy another of the same figure I've got, dude. That's just painted different.
That's I mean, I pretty much I've looking at my philosophy of troop building in that I have the ones that I want, right? I'm sure if I sat down, I could. Oh yeah, sure. I definitely wanted a handful of Rock Vipers, but in terms of the massive amounts, I only wound up with as many Python Patrol Vipers as I have because I got two different deals. I won some in a contest. I got 15 of them for $10 a piece. So who says no to that? Plus, I had I already had 10 at the time. Yeah, I have 28 of them all together. But that's again, I didn't go out of my way to buy them individually. There was deals, but Snow Serpents, Alley Viper, Crimson Alley Viper, I got 14 of each of those. But every other troop builder is a much lower number, 8, 7, 6, something like that. Some I only have 4, and they're going to stay that way. And then that's kind of how I'm looking at it. There's no other figure that captures my fancy in the way that to have that many. So it's fine. Anybody, if I all of a sudden won the lottery, I would probably wind up saying, okay, the original bats, sure, I would like to have an amount of those, because in the show, they were the throwaway soldier for Cobra. So
I had a lot of bats, dude. I love the bats, dude.
They did a really good job, man. They look awesome.
Brilliant moves they made to make an android trooper that could be destroyed on screen.
It was
a brilliant move.
Well, and they didn't just throw something out there. They made it look absolutely incredible. I think it's when you look at that original 3 3/4. I think the concept, the design, and the whole thing is one of the coolest things they made. Like the bat, the viper,
100%.
the snow serpent, the eel, and then the trooper officer. Those are quintessential Cobra to me, right?
Yep.
Like, of course, when you think of Cobra Command, you think of Cobra Commander, Destro, Baroness, Major Blood, Zartan, Firefly, Scrap Iron, right?
Yeah.
That's like the hierarchy. But when you're looking at troop building across the board with what we grew up with, it's like, the Viper, the Bat, the Snow Serpent, the Eel. Because, like, maybe not the Eel so much, but they were just such an awesome figure that I was.
Eel
Yeah,
was the elite unit. But
Yeah.
I would even argue that if you look in the Marvel universe, Cobra shifted from dude, I'm glad you like that, dude.
I fucking love it, brother.
Shifted from a mentality of throwing their troops into the fodder to where they valued their troops and they started throwing bats into the fodder. So there was a transition in the Marvel run where maybe it was Serpentor that valued his troops. But and that Battle of Springfield is still one of the best. Oh man,
Yeah,
it's good. You got Serpentor that rallies those beaten down Cobra troops, and they fight back the Joe team to retreat. That is one of the most epic comic book moments for Joe.
Agreed. It was definitely good. And listen, I'd love to have you back on sometime to do. You're very knowledgeable on all that. There's a handful of guys that I know have, like, I know Conrad is also very knowledgeable. So I was
on with it, dude.
Yeah, for sure. So what my plan in that regard is that I was going to get a couple of the guys that I know that have this knowledge, and then we're going to it's going to be a round table where I'll kind of go from person to person, and we'll do like a favorite issue, favorite figure, favorite, what every
part of that.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That's no, I think it'll be good. It'll be kind of regimented in the sense, because I'm planning on having 5 or 6 people on, but everybody will get their chance to speak on their favorites of different things, whether it's issues of the comic, the issues or episodes of the cartoon.
Yeah. Because dude, there are generations that knew nothing about the comic that grew up and really only knew the G.I. Joe from the cartoon, and they still loved it, and that's fine. And that's that was me. Another thing going on, Destro, Mike, is right now we've had G.I. Joe runs before, but this is the first time that you've had adults at the age where 25th was
right,
and now Classified's out, and you've got a range of adults now that lived through American Hero all the way to Valor vs. Venom and DPC, and now they are all guys with money.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel the iron is hot for that sort of thing. And yeah, I feel like it would be a good, I have an idea of how, obviously as we get closer to when I'm going to do that, I will let you know, and you will that's something that I will have it all written out and I will send to you ahead of time. So you can think about it over the course of like a week or two. And then by the time, because I try to do that. See, I knew today we had, we were doing a very specific
you got a big day tomorrow, dude. We wanted to do the Snake Eyes thing and just talk, dude. It's great.
For sure.
I'm glad some people showed up. This is really cool, man. Some of the comments, dude. I love this crew, dude.
No, we're blessed. We're blessed. We definitely are for sure. But yeah, we'll talk more about that as it comes. It's probably not going to be. I've got next week. The show is off Saturday next week as well. I should have said this earlier. No. I'm doing it on Friday because I'm having my brother Laser Pants from the 3POA podcast is coming in. Yeah, and he does his show with Bobby Valla on Saturday nights. So obviously, I was more than happy to switch my show to Friday if he was willing to come in and you know. But I'm going to say to you, it's something that I actually said it to Laser Pants when he said he would come on, and I thought about it, and it was the first time, and now I want to say it's like all my guests, and it's a pretty simple thing, but it's also relatively profound in that the biggest and most important commodity that every one of us have is time. There's no, you can't buy it, you can't do anything about it. It continues what it's doing, and that's it. So when anybody gives me their time to come on my show for any reason, right? I always feel incredibly grateful. Like I think I felt this way before, but I couldn't put my finger on the words until I thought of that. I was like, oh, yeah, that's why I'm trying to thank you so much, because time is what is most important to us. So I appreciate you for taking the time to come on here. I appreciate you for being so thoughtful and so generous, putting me in the driver's seat of this completely redonkulous figure that I listen, I'm not gonna lie. When I was sitting here, I almost had the thought, I was like, I almost want to bring this up and put it on my nightstand that's right next to, because where I sit, there's I'm next to my bed, there's a dresser that is it's why I can't think of what they're called. They're not the full stand-ups, they're the bureau, whatever, the long one. And so it's only this much higher off my bed. And I was like, man, if I didn't think I would continuously be fucking with it all night, I would go put it up there. So, but yeah, we are going to get out of here because I got to get up fucking early.
Me too, man. Me too.
But thank you so much, Dave. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And also not just for coming on here, not just for the wonderful Snake Eyes, but for being such a great, productive member of the community. Bringing your own interesting things like with the VR. You made that file card of yourself, which I think is pretty cool, and numerous other things, right? That I think are cool, and a lot of people seem to enjoy. So I appreciate you for being a part of what is, I will say, anywhere the best community on the internet, and that. For all the thanks that I get for it, I always am quick to say, well, sure, but also we are the sum of the parts, and the parts are each individual showing up, being positive, encouraging, and also putting themselves out there and doing it on a daily basis, right? That's what makes it seem like that everybody has this place that they can go to, because we're here every day doing it. And even though in the past 2 weeks I have been like just so goddamn busy that normally I stop 5, 6, 7, 8 times over like almost once an hour. I'll stop for 5 minutes and jump on. And lately I've just been like in this, like I get there. I think
the last 3 days I haven't had the day. I haven't had the time.
For sure. And I think I also said it to you that like the other day when I was sitting back, I don't take breaks. I show up, I go balls to the wall.
Lunch, dude.
4 to 6 hours.
You smash, you defeat all that. Actually, the guy said it the best. You know what I mean? To crush your enemies, see them
right, yes,
and hear the lamentations of their women.
Yes,
that's how you work, baby.
Yeah, it took me a second, but that's
man.
Yeah, it took me a second, but I know what you're talking about, and that's true. It's true. I agree, and that's how I do it. Plus, I can't be dragged down all day. I'm gonna be like a car going downhill, that as long as I'm moving and we're going downhill, it's fine. But the second we level off, I'm gonna slow down to the point where I'm stopping. So I can't stop for a while, but that's it.
But throwing me down on a job, dude, you're going home, dude.
right. For sure.
One thing before we take off, I just wanted to say that I have a lot of real world certifications, and it's this type of stuff is hard to say on a recorded medium, but I have literally built lots of GI Joe vehicles and a lot of production U.S. military vehicles and prototypes, one-offs, and all that stuff of armored tactical vehicles. And is what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking GI Joe vehicles and I'm going to be analyzing them from an armorer's perspective and from a tactician's perspective, because not only would I have to build this for you and sell this to you and deliver it to you, I would have to teach you how to use it. So I have a very unique look at how a HISS tank would work. You know what I mean? And I would love awesome to show that, to bring, when Cobra Commander is yelling retreat in the cartoon, that may be one of the most tactical, advantageous moves that a HISS can make. And I make that argument in a different video. So
For sure. Yeah. So make sure you are following GI Dave on X and also on YouTube. Are you on any of the other socials?
You know what? I'm on Facebook. You can my name is Dave Lovelock. You can follow me on Facebook. I don't care about the
Nice.
name, dude. And dude, I spent too much time of my life being angry, and I just really want to have fun. And I think the Joe community right now is at a point that and like I said, this isn't a new thing for me. I've been watching this literally since the 80s. And right now, I don't think I've seen the Joe community come together in a way that I've seen now. Straight up. Even
Yeah,
the
for
25th,
sure.
when everybody was going balls out for like fist pumping 80s stuff, we still had half of the Joe guys saying, "What about me?" They were the Valor versus Venom Sigma 6 guys and stuff. But anyways,
That's what's up.
Destro,
But yeah,
thank you very much for having me on tonight. You get some sleep, enjoy your time, and thank you very much. It was very fun spending some time with you.
I appreciate it. So make sure I'm Destro Designs, Viper Den Studios. You can find me on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Show is normally Saturday nights, 8 p.m. That's live for Viper Den Studios. Some Wednesdays we are doing the Power Hour with my brother Jay Antonio. Whenever we can get a chance to do that. Hey, well, just coming in right at the end here, my brother Talib. What's up, my dude? We are limping out of here, brother. I am exhausted. Something that I'll be showing off on Figure Fight Club next week. My brother Dave here blessed me with an incredible gift, and so we opened up. He got one too in tandem. We got this nice 1/6 scale dual opening joint operation. So yeah, I'll be showing that off on open mic night, which I will actually be at next Tuesday. I think I missed 2 weeks in a row. I can't remember the last time I did that, but yeah, thank you for stopping, brother. And dude, I don't know if I reached out to you yet. I had a great time with you on the show last week, and I look forward to doing it again. I was actually just telling Dave I'm gonna do a show where we're gonna have about 6 guys that all have a good working knowledge of the Joes, and we're gonna do just a panel where everybody's gonna get like a questionnaire about like favorite this or favorite that about the early years. You'll get that. I know I sent you something similar, but we're gonna have a bunch of people to kind of go around or whatever. But yeah, I'll send you an invite for that because I'd love to have you. But he's a busy guy. I talked to him about a few things,
but that would be a good one.
Sure, for sure. He's incredibly knowledgeable. I mean, believe me, I would have him on every other week if I could. Yeah, for sure.
I like
but
too, dude.
I do too. He's a great guy.
I'm a great face for GI Joe, and I think every one of us that loves the brand says only me can create the best GI Joe. But I'm humble enough to say that I would trust the brand in Fogarty's hand, dude.
For sure.
That's saying a lot.
So yeah, and also so that Mondays you can find me on Destro as my spirit animal, although I don't think I'm on this week. Then Tuesday I swing by Figure Fight Club open mic night. Wednesdays Power Hour Jay Antonio when we actually do it. Then Saturdays is live from Viper Den Studios. I feel like I missed something there. I didn't. But you can also catch the articles that I drop are Tuesdays and Fridays on serpentorslayer.com. They get posted on the internet or on the socials, but you can find it first thing in the morning right on serpentorslayer.com. It's usually right up at the top. So that's where you can find me. But everybody that's here, we will see you all in those Twitter streets. And nice. Abby came back. I know. For sure. We are heading out, brother. My ass is going to bed. I got to get up at 5. So
thank you very much.
Definitely.
Take care, buddy.
Thanks for coming through, Dave. Thank you again, everybody. We will see you in them social media streets. Thank you much. Have a good night.
Hey, later.